talk.
No small talk.
Yeah,
right?
no. If we can't monetize it, we can't do it. Here we go.
Can't do it. That's right. So rude. Don't even move an inch. Not a full inch. Wise ass. Okay, shut up. I gotta do this whole thing. We do the intros live. We do it live.
Bill O'Reilly style.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, hi. You're listening to Service from Hell, a podcast featuring people that are currently in customer service positions or the lucky few that got out and all of the good, bad, and infinitely irritating things that go along with that work. I'm actor and comic Kate Gaffney, and I'm uniquely qualified to discuss this as I used to work at a very busy and very popular comedy club in Los Angeles, and at least one of you listening right now has probably grabbed me and told me you were ready to order when I was running around like a crazy person. So let's eat. I'd like to welcome our guest, comic and actor Matt Lewis. Matt is based in Los Angeles and has traveled the country performing and been in numerous stand-up comedy festivals, including, to just name a few, the Burbank, Eagle Rock, Blue Whale, Vero Beach, and Ventura comedy festivals. Holy crap. Matt has also produced and appeared in 2 comedy feature films, Funny Fat Guy, a narrative dark comedy about a comedian who is unaware that he's past his prime, that won the Marina Del Rey, Sunny Side Up, and Diamond in the Rough film festivals. And the other film is The All-American Comedy Trek, a documentary following comedian Dan Nabb as he walks from New York to Los Angeles, telling jokes all along the way. I have so many questions. Matt also produces a comedy podcast, which is very, 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 very funny. You all should listen immediately after you listen to this episode. And it's called Obnoxious Valid Points, which is, I mean, how could you not listen with that? And it's a comedy podcast that touches on sports, pop culture, and anything in the news with interviewing fellow actors, filmmakers, and stand-up comedians. I better know Matt from being in the open mic circuit with him, although he is very much past that in his career. He's just humble and kind and continues to do them occasionally. And I agreed with him when he said that Jack Harlow is indeed talented. We're going to talk about it. So, Matt, how do you know Mac Miller? How long have you been doing comedy? Which do you prefer, acting or comedy? I did do a deep dive on your socials.
Oh,
Tell
man.
us. Tell us, Matt.
What do I prefer? I prefer. I mean, I really like stand-up because it's cause I'm a little. I love the instant gratification of when a joke hits. You know, you don't have to deal with editors. You don't have to deal with color correct. You don't have to deal with sound. You know, that kind of thing. It's 2 different complete animals, but I can appreciate both. It's like obviously the show's over, and then it's just like, oh well, I guess it's gone. You know, and then you're like, all right, I got to go do one tomorrow. As opposed to when you make a film or whenever you're acting something, it's just like it's a piece of a library that someone can go reference or watch while they're trying to go to sleep, which is probably not a good endorsement of some of the stuff I've been in.
True though.
Yeah,
Same.
Exactly. Yeah, no. So.
Okay, so of the 2, you see them as different animals, but they each hold a place for you creatively.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the things I've learned is, always to write down everything that tickles me.
Oh, that's a good suggestion.
And you can do it so easy with like the notes apps on the phones and stuff like that. And then it may never become a stand-up bit. But it may be a really funny sketch, or it may be something that works on your podcast, or it may be, something like that. And it just different things fit in different places. But you want to get that part where you express your heart. Boy, I'm really poignant early, huh?
Yeah, you are. I love that, though. That's so true, because nothing is more honest than when it just comes to your head and you haven't thought of a punchline.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this may not be funny, but it's just this random thought I had.
Yeah.
Do you experience this? I do. If I don't write it down right then, it is gone like a feather in the wind.
I text myself all my...
Oh, you're smart.
And then I pin my myself on my text messages at the top, so I don't even have to...
That is such a good idea.
Yeah, I came up with that myself like a year or 2 ago, and it really helped me write a lot more.
You would just think like, I don't know, a bird.
Oh, look at that green truck with the purple spoiler or whatever.
And then you
like,
would just text
okay, I'll come back to that, whenever I park or something or whatever, or I'm in a waiting room at a doctor's office or something like that, and then I'll delve into that, or I'm when I'm doing my writing or I'm smoking a joint or something like that. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it? Okay, get there.
You're getting there. You got it, baby.
She's wasted. It's fine. How long have you been doing comedy?
I started stand-up. First time I did it, I think, was 2008. I had a weird... would you like to hear my origin story?
Yes, immediately.
All right, I first had moved to Orange County, and I had I was a sports writer for the Orange County Register and the LA Times. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, and I used to get in trouble because I'd like talk shit. Well, because everybody would be done, and I'd make jokes about like Barry Bonds on steroids or something. I don't know, whatever. Because it was like we'd all be done because it was like the newsrooms. You see, it was like that where everybody had to get all their stories in by 10, and then they have to be edited by 10:30, and I'd be done early because I was a little bit of an overachiever, and then I just like ESPN would be on because it was a sports room. I'd talk shit about stuff, and I'd be like, hey, Matt, that's really good and all, but
can you do your job?
could you like spell guys' names correctly and stop, interrupting everybody else's shit,
And you're like, what? Why?
Like, hey, why don't you go take that to an open mic? And I'm like, oh yeah, you can do that.
Did they really? That's
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
My grandpa was funny. He was funny. He's like a good storyteller.
I love that.
Yeah, he was a professional tennis player.
You have such a cool sidestep into sports. Is that why you wanted to be a sports writer first?
Oh yeah, well, I played football and soccer and stuff. Yeah.
That's all at a professional level, or did you play it in college?
I had a football scholarship to a tiny school, and I went there for like 2 days. That's what we were like before that. And then I realized, man,
those suck.
I like, man, none of us are gonna go to the pros. What the fuck are we doing in this little shit town near the Panhandle, Oklahoma? And what are we doing? And I'm not doing this crap. And 2 of the guys made NFL rosters.
Shut up. You're like took yourself out of the running before, and then you're like, fuck.
Well, I mean, they were like taller.
Oh. Couldn't have made it. Good job, Matt.
Yeah, it was a guy who played for the Patrick Creighton and Gabe Lynn. Yeah.
You remember that. So through that with college, you were like sports writing and like your grandpa's connection.
Oh, I didn't take any journalism classes.
So how the hell did you, Matt, this doesn't bode well for the LA Times. How did you find this job then?
My mother was a writer. She wrote like children's stories and stuff like that. Yeah, man. She was like, and she'd had like no formal training either.
I love that.
She was like published and stuff. Yeah.
What's the title of one of her books? I'll write it down.
Oh, not like books, but like magazine articles.
Oh, good for her.
She wrote like a lot of like women's stuff and kind of thing. And it was, I got a whole, she wrote under Kim Abbey, Abbey. Kimberly Abbey.
Abbey. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
My grandpa is Jeff Abbey. He was the tennis guy.
What did he do of note in tennis?
He was the 10th member of the USTA, United States. But
I know who they are.
Yeah, he was like a tennis coach. He was like a tennis player before like they made money.
Before it was a thing.
Yeah, because they didn't have like slave labor making Nikes. So So he just,
which they still do. Interestingly.
Yeah,
so
man.
There's that.
Yeah, look at that.
I love that. Matt just lifted up his foot. He's wearing Nikes. So okay,
that's what's for you, pops.
We need to resurrect your grandpa and get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're originally from Oklahoma. Did you come out to Los Angeles? No, you're not. From Oklahoma.
It's a weird story.
Okay,
right?
well, let's hear it.
My parents went to high school in Redondo Beach.
Okay.
And they were high school sweethearts.
Come on.
Yeah.
Are they still together?
Nah, my mom died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they divorced also.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah,
so double whammy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. But and then I grew up in Oklahoma though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they met in Redondo Beach. Why did they move to Oklahoma? I don't understand.
Because like my mom got pregnant when she was like 16.
Ooh, your mom was a teen mom.
Yeah, man.
God
before
bless.
it was like
before it was cool. Before they got
on,
TV shows.
Yeah, before you got like Instagram followers for you.
Damn, that is so hard. So were they like forced to get married?
I wasn't there.
Well, you were.
No, that was my older brother.
Oh, okay.
No. I think it's like make an honorable woman out of her kind of thing. They got married in Tijuana, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because like my mom got kicked out of their house.
Sure, as one does.
Yeah,
because it's just her fault.
But luckily, like she only had to move like 2 blocks away.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
because
that was like where my dad lived. It was like 2 blocks away.
Oh, she moved in with him right away.
Yeah.
Oh, so they drive to Tijuana, they get married, they come back.
Yeah.
And wow, he made an honest woman out of her.
Oh, well, yeah.
As you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so they stayed together for a while. So why Oklahoma though? I don't understand.
They had like my mom's side had like some family in Kansas, and Tulsa was a good place if you wanted to work aviation. It was like super cheap also to live out there.
I love Tulsa so much.
Oh,
People
you
sleep.
I forgot.
Love Tulsa.
You got
People
the
sleep
STL.
on it.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan. It's also super progressive. Like I low key didn't know that. I was like, oh, everything in Oklahoma is going to be whatever, and they're so progressive and awesome.
It's like hilly and stuff too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I grew up there. If you want to say a comedian ever grew up,
that part, which is first of all, that's rude to both of us, but also that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in Oklahoma. You grow up. You are playing sports. You're doing your thing. What gets you back out to Los Angeles?
I worked. I had a degree, like a regular ass degree.
Shit.
And like I went to the Oklahoma State University. Not trying to brag.
It is a good school, Matt. He's being funny, but that is a good school.
And I had an accounting degree, and I had my first accounting job. And I wanted to like drive my car off a bridge every day.
Yeah,
I started going to comedy club in Little Rock, Arkansas. It was I remember I saw. God, what was I was because I was alone, and I was like the lonely guy at the comedy club, and I learned not to sit in the front because it'd be like, oh, that's. Hey, where's your date? And they're like, oh yeah, well.
I hate that shit. That's not even crowd work. It's just shaming someone.
Yeah,
it's lazy. It makes me insane.
Yeah,
but okay. So
I don't like mean crowd work.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I like including people, but I don't like why if you're there to be cruel, like you need something else to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that. I mean, I got laid in high school. I mean, I don't need. I don't need to be. I don't need to be mean to people. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Matt had sex. He's not mad.
And consensual. There we go.
Matt doesn't rape people. Good job, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were the lonely guy at the club, so you go and sit in the back. So why? So was accounting like a sure thing? Is that why you majored in it?
Yeah. It seemed like it was like stable.
I mean, it is.
It is. Yeah. But also like I feel like I have a little bit more to offer.
Okay. Now that's an interesting way of saying it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people can do accounting and be fulfilled?
Yeah, absolutely. It's challenging. It's like, especially I like doing it for like small businesses and stuff like that, like mom and pops and places that I don't really want to do it. So like, guy doesn't have to pay
Goldman
taxes
Sachs
or something. You know what I mean? I didn't like that kind of element of it, which I understand, but you want to make sure a guy can get a loan to, he's like, selling burgers or whatever, and he needs a new fryer, so he has to get a loan. His books have to be in order to that kind of thing. I like that kind of thing. You know?
I think the reason I pushed you on it is because I think especially on this podcast, because we're like, whenever I have another creative on, it can seem like we're dragging people who get normal professions, and it's like, we're not. No. I'm actually jealous of people who get fulfilled in that way.
Oh no, I'm a Virgo, so I like it when everything's in order,
balanced and in order. You guys are that way. Okay, so you're like not doing well emotionally. You're still. Are you?
I'm not doing well emotionally. I'm hanging out in comedy clubs.
I mean, deeply relatable.
Rock, Arkansas.
Deeply relatable. So you're going to your accounting job 9 to 5 during the week, and then what? Like at night you would go to clubs, or on the weekend, or what was the like?
I think it was like 2000, 2001. I was actually, it was before I started. I had always been like a writer, journal, and I started working with this. It was like an online group, and they were. How do I say this? They were covering like a lot of local prep sports and college sports, and I was like, oh, I can do this, and I could. And we had some on-air stuff. I was a radio broadcaster.
You have that voice. I was going to ask you. No, you do. Okay, prep sports and local sports. So you're doing radio broadcasting. Now this is whilst you are also gainfully employed as an accountant.
Yeah, man.
How could you do both?
Ah, man,
the joy of youth.
I mean, this is before I was really even into drugs, man. Wow.
So honest. Okay, Matt.
I know.
We'll get there.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so you're doing that for a little while in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Why were you attracted? Because did you know you wanted to be a comic at the time, or were you just going to comedy clubs because you're like, I want to?
Oh, I was just a fan. I grew up. My parents raised me on comedy albums, and
give me an example of one. Punky did this when she was on.
Bill Cosby.
I love it. Sure.
Robin Williams.
Sure, the classics.
George Carlin. Yeah, that kind of. Yeah, those were. They had the albums, the vinyl albums, and that kind of thing,
which are worth so much money now if you still have a copy of them.
My first comedy show I ever saw was in Tulsa at the Brady Theater. I think they had to change it because he was like a Klan guy.
Yeah.
But it was George Carlin.
That was your very first comedy show? Fuck off.
Yeah.
You are so lucky.
It was kind of good for him too to be my first, So
okay, Matt. Okay. George Carlin, get out of here. May he rest. May he rest.
Yeah, he probably talks about it on podcasts in heaven.
Yeah, he sure does, where he's getting interviewed with Rob Williams. Okay, so George Carlin's your first thing. So you're a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Now, did
fan.
you have, when you were working in your accounting firm, were you like, this sports interviewing, broadcasting, and journalism is going to be my way out? Or were you just like, this is helping me survive?
I didn't know how to keep it. I wanted to keep it separate because it seemed like they were, I mean, I would tell people one-to-one, hey, I write and that kind of thing. And I was working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Oh, don't get into it, but I have so many questions. Okay.
That's another bad retail job.
Oh, yeah.
But I worked on their accounting side too, yeah.
I got to know about that. Well, we'll get back to, I'm making a note about Enterprise. So, but I mean, like, I guess where I'm trying to get to is what allowed you to make the transition from I'm doing this like side kind of creative thing to this is now my vision. This is now what I'm doing. And I got
fired.
Oh, that'll do it. Boy, that'll do it.
I got fired.
Okay.
But I stayed friends with not everybody else in the department except for the guy that fired me naturally.
Obviously. Yeah.
But
you got fired from the accounting firm?
Yeah, but it was Enterprise Rent-A-Car's accounting. Yeah. And that guy's like a miserable person anyway.
Shocking.
So, yeah,
working for Enterprise and unhappy? Who knew?
And an accountant. Nah, just kidding.
Rough.
He's like he's just an unhappy dude. Yeah.
Why did he fire you? What was the reasoning?
I think it like a little bit of it was competency.
Sure.
I mean, there was a little. I'm not gonna be all of it. Like there was a little bit of incompetence in my part. I was young. It was my first job and that kind of thing. Second of all, I was like, people liked me. I was charismatic and I would crack jokes and stuff like that, And then third, I remind a lot of people. I even get this out in LA. I remind them of their high school bully.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
that's fascinating.
I've been told that.
Wow, I wonder. You seem so gregarious, though. That's so interesting.
I'm a broy guy.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
and
I guess I could see that.
And my upbringing is not really that kind of John Hughes villain movie villain guy. I'm not. But I remember when I first started, people had this whole perception of me, and I was like,
you're like, I'm not that dude.
I'm not gonna say, I'm not that guy. I'm just like, get to know me. I'm not perfect, but whatever. And I think he was. I think he felt like kind of threatened a little bit.
100%.
And he's. I mean, I'm sure he's like competent and nice guy. Not nice really, but he was always like real condescending. He was a real formal, real by the book accounting guy. And he was a gay dude, and I could probably tell that he probably had to deal with the broy guys.
So it was trauma transference. It was like I had to deal with this in high school where I got made fun of, so I'm going to fire the dude.
Yeah, I didn't. I never made any jokes like
sure you
gay
didn't.
jokes about
Yeah.
him. I'd make jokes. I'd make jokes about. I'd roast, but
Sure.
it was just like, in a nice way kind of thing. You know? Like I remember this girl Natalie worked there. It was Nelly was a big song. It was like, it was like, the Hot in Here song.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Yeah,
Here we go. And it was just like the heater was out in the office and she's like, I am getting so cold. I'm going to put my coat on. And we would just,
Goofy.
we would just goof and like, stupid, dumb songs like that. And like things like that would just drive him nuts.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey man, let's have fun.
We have to trade our time for this. We might as well enjoy it. So he just comes to you one day and he fires you, and so were you like?
It was like warned, kind
Okay.
of thing, and it was. I was getting picked at.
You knew.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't happy. So I was like,
they sometimes do it for us, don't they? When it's just like clearly not our
blessing
vision
in disguise.
That's true. Yeah. So you're at that job, you get fired, and then are you like, I'm gonna continue sports writing, or were you like, I will just go to LA and figure it out?
Oh no, I started doing more local stuff. I actually took a journalism class.
Nice.
And I was working at Quick Trip in that summer, and I'd worked there for like 7 years before, 6 or 7 years before that. So that was my high school and college job. And I was in Oklahoma. I came out. I'm all over the place. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm making notes. Keep going.
I got family out here. I was on the beach on Christmas Day, and I was like just in my shorts on Christmas Day out in like Huntington Beach with my cousin. And then I was flying back that day, and I had to put on like thermal long johns and like 3 layers of coats and crap and boots and stuff. And I was just like, he was just like, man, why don't you just move out here? I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
You're like, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I had an internship at the University of Tulsa. I had just finished up in the sports information department. I got a really good recommendation.
Amazing.
Yeah, and because I just hit the guy up. I go, hey, do you need anybody? He's like, yeah, sure, cool, whatever. And it was just, I worked for free for him. And that got me in at the Orange County Register, and that was a paid gig. And for like a year, I worked at Orange County Register. I was a freelancer, and after a year, I had 4 job offers as a sports writer.
Holy shit. Okay, so then get us up to today. So how did you transition into comedy from that? Like, I don't know, because that's probably a good gig.
Yeah, because they told me to start. Yeah, don't tell jokes at the office.
So that was the go to an open mic, get out of here.
Oh yeah, I'm in LA. I guess I could do that. Yeah.
So where was your first open mic out here?
The Ha Cafe.
I knew it. Why did I know that?
Because at the time, the internet, when you typed in Los Angeles open mic comedy, it was like that was their Google. That was that was their revenue. Those were the AdWords they paid for. I guess so. And I drove from. Fountain Valley, California.
Oh, come on, to go to the Ha Cafe.
Yeah, man.
The Ha Cafe is in North Hollywood for anyone who's not familiar with Los Angeles.
It's like an hour and a half drive.
Without traffic, though, sir. So probably now it would be like a 3-hour drive one way. But go ahead. So
for 5 minutes. And,
no.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, no.
But did you feel amazing? Were you
it was a rush. That was great. It was a great feeling. I made fun of people that I had worked like temp jobs with.
Hell yeah.
Did invitations of like this like annoying girl who would like tell a story at one cubicle and then walk like 3 feet away and tell the same story to the next person. We're like, hey, we heard you.
Yeah. You know what? We're right here. Turns out.
Cool. Yeah. You and your boyfriend went to Olive Garden. Great. Yeah. Oh yeah. Breadsticks were cold. Yeah. That's great. Great. Yeah. Didn't hear it 5 minutes ago. And that was like my introduction. I was doing impressions of like people and stuff like that.
So you had like a set in your head that you're like, I've practiced.
I had no clue what I was doing.
That's what most people say when they do their first one. That's how I was.
I was like, I want to make fun of Samantha. That's what I said. I do. So yeah, I got. And there was like, I realized that you really can't make fun of something that's nonverbal. It doesn't really work because there was this girl who would always just leave right at 5 o'clock, like a what's it called, like a ninja.
Hell yeah.
You can't really act that out on stage. No. I learned that, or I couldn't as a guy who'd been doing it for 8 seconds. And I was like, wait, it's funny. Wait. Here's how it.
No, let me explain it. That's what people love about jokes. Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, that was my first. That was my first time doing. That was I don't.
And you were hooked. You're like, this is it.
Oh yeah, it was the immediate endorphin rush you get from making strangers laugh.
Oh, it's
like, oh man, wow, people like me.
It's drugs.
You love me. You love me. You really love me.
Okay, so you're doing that. You're in the open mic scene, and then get us up to today because like,
all right,
you
are. I'm gonna tell you about every open mic I did.
People love those stories, truly. But so, go ahead.
I had a really cool opportunity. I started in 2007 or 8. I started working in Hollywood at a nonprofit. I was doing books for them. They helped autistic kids, like therapists with autistic kids. So that's why I like doing books for those kind of places.
Hell yeah, I would too.
And one of the therapists was a musician guy. He said, "Oh, hey man, I host an open mic. Sometimes we have comedians. You're kind of funny. You want to do comedy?" I was like,
"This is the universe unfolding it for you." Like that's
Espinoza,
amazing.
Good guy. He's great. He was great. Anthony Espinoza, great musician. But he's like, "Yeah, host it," and then I kind of. Yeah, we have comics come in and goes, I don't like hosting it the whole time. If you want to host the second half. I didn't realize he would just get drunk.
He was trying to offload it.
The people that I started with were like monsters that were going to that open mic.
Really?
Yeah, it was like guys you see now. It was like Gerard Carmichael and it's like Josh Adammeyer. Really funny people. Angelo Bowers. I don't know if you got to meet his legend. Jamar, Willie Hunter.
All of that. Willie's the best.
And they were like, they would have a musician come in and play. Rel Battle, he was one of them.
Rel's the best.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, really funny, great guys.
Yeah.
They would have like a musician play like cover song usually or whatever.
Like in between sets or something.
No, it was for the musicians. but they let comics go up.
And don't do that. You made the mistake.
Well, it was great for us because we actually
Yeah.
had like a real ass audience.
Oh, because they were there to see the music.
Well, they were there to work on their stuff, and it was like a guy was running like a booking thing. It was like kind of like a bringer show for musicians.
What a gift, because you're not just performing for comics. And
Yeah.
performing for comics is hell.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a really cheat
amazing.
code to kind of get up there.
Yeah, and to get better because you're
Yeah.
getting real reactions.
Yeah.
Damn, that's lucky.
Yeah. I remember one time Rail had a joke. He got bad. He goes, "Wait, I just listened to 3 Oasis cover songs, and you don't like that joke?" And it was, and the fact that he knew the Oasis song
I love
because
it.
they all play Wonderwall,
Of course.
Anyway, and it was just so funny. Yeah,
So you're going up there, you're getting
that
better.
got me a lot better. Yeah,
It would. This is the
Quick.
thing I try to say this to people who are in the open mic scene who are doing like, there was one night I was like, all right, I'm going to do 5 open mics tonight. I'm really going to do it. By the third one, it was like diminishing returns. Yeah. And also I'm like, I'm sitting through an hour and a half of other people's shit. I'm
Yeah.
getting no feedback.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually help. And so I'm like, I don't know how you go from the level of like just churning it out at open mics to actually like getting back. Because a lot of it is find your footing, get your stage
Yeah.
presence. But once you have that stuff sorted, it's like, no, I want to know how to make these jokes better.
Yeah.
And that's so like, how do you get out of that?
I mean, I was just. I was fortunate. I was just, like I said, the universe kind of opened itself up to me on that. I learned that open mics. It's just like the 10,000 hours. It's gonna suck.
It just does.
It just like what's the place over there? Or I saw you at it.
They closed. Yeah,
it's closed.
They closed. We'll talk off the mic.
Oh,
It's
yeah, okay.
chaos.
All right.
Yeah.
I just go. I would go there because it's
Close to your house. Yeah, that's what you said.
I'm a slacker.
Well, you got up and you were so comfortable, and I was like, this guy's not a micer. And you're like, hey, everybody. And then when you started talking, I was like, he's way too comfortable. This is so upsetting. And then to talk to you after, I was like, oh, you've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah,
okay,
no.
fine.
I mean, you go through it, and
Yeah.
you have good stage presence.
Oh, appreciate you.
You really do.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and
Matt.
I mean, yeah.
I paid you to say that. Thank you.
Oh, stop! You give me water.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's the thing with improv and stuff. I feel like it did lay the foundation for being better at stand up than I would have been if I
It's
started.
performance.
It
Counts. It's not exactly the same, but
No.
it's that same muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you see it like singers,
That's true.
like Dean Del Rey was like
Sure.
a musician for
He
years,
started
and he had
first that way.
that presence.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
thing.
right.
Stage actors
Yeah.
have a little bit of a great musician like T.I.
Mm-hmm.
And how great he is at comedy.
He thinks he is. That was such a read. I wish you could have seen Matt's
That was
face.
a moment in time. That was such a moment in time.
He still goes up.
Good.
John Mayer goes up too. Did you know he started in comedy?
Yeah.
That was his. I did not. I learned this recently. I was like, he
yeah.
wanted to be a comic and
Oh,
it
yeah,
didn't
you
work
can
out. And I'm
tell.
like,
Yeah.
because I've seen him do stand up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh baby,
Yeah.
stick to body is a wonderland.
yeah.
Like stay over there, because Jesus Christ.
Great song.
Yeah, it is
All
a good
right.
song.
Sorry, I took us off track.
No, you're fine. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're transitioning. Like, how did you transition out of like you're getting these opportunities? The
Mm-hmm.
universe is opening the door for you. How did you then start getting paid to perform and be a comic to where you are today?
The other thing was I started. There was a club opening at Universal City.
Oh, was this? It's changed hands so many times. It's closed now.
Yeah, John Lovitz.
John Lovitz.
Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, he's really a nice guy.
That was a dope space.
Oh, it was
though.
beautiful. It was a beautiful place. Unfortunately, not really great for stand up.
Oh, wasn't? I never went inside.
It was a music venue. So it was like
'cause it
high.
was B.B. King's.
Yeah,
It
it
used
was
to be
BB
B.B.
King's.
King's.
Yeah,
That's why.
And it was like high ceilings. It was good for music.
Sure, terrible for stand-up.
And it was only good if it was full because it was like 3 stories.
Also, it would echo.
Oh yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
And hard surfaces
Nope.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nightmare.
I helped open that. No, it wasn't my idea. But like I worked in the ticketing, and that's where I got to network with a lot of people. Like, and they told me about tribble runs. Have you heard about those?
No. Not even-
Oh,
I can't wait.
Okay, that was like they were like the OG hell gig. Yeah, Tribble Run. David Tribble. Everybody from like my age and older knows about him.
Okay.
Because they're like especially LA comics. Because they were like in the Northwest, and they as an opener they give you like 100, I think 125 bucks, $150, and they'd put you up in a room.
Okay.
And
not worth it to go up to the Northwest quite
Well, no,
yet.
if you partner up with somebody, you share, and then you do like 3 or 4 in a row.
Oh,
3 or
so you
4.
get some money.
Yeah, and you may break even.
Okay.
But you learn how to do 30 minutes.
Oh God, and 30's an eternity.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time I did it, man. There was this guy, this comedian. It was my first time doing it. I was just like, yeah, because I had a day job and I was saving money. And I was like, all right, so I'm willing to invest in myself. And this guy, his name was Bill Scott. It was an old black guy, and I was just like, oh, I'm really excited. This is my first triple. This is my first paid gig. He looked at me and was like, fuck. I'm like, well, that guy sure was a jerk. And I go up there and like shoot through my 30 minutes in 8 minutes.
It's the worst. It's the worst. I've done this with 10 minutes. I look at my clock and I'm like, that was 4 minutes. I got to fill 6. I can't imagine 30. I can't.
It was like a casino gig.
Oh, no, those always sell out.
It was a Wednesday night. It was a free gig at a casino on a Wednesday. It was
Everybody's wasted.
It was
nope.
Coos Bay, Oregon, which was it's on the coast. It's like where they made Goonies. So there's that going for it. Man, it was. And
wait, how did you get plugged into that? How did you find out?
Because people told me like, hey, just submit for it because they'll. And I looked at it and somebody, I don't. They were always hurting for comics. So
that seems wild to me.
Well,
okay.
I mean, it's not terrible if you're like in Seattle or Portland.
Sure, but if you're down
Denver.
here.
Yeah, and the ones they got were like the ones like me, which were god awful. But
new.
But yeah, and I kept going back and learned how to do 30, learned how to do an hour.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and you got paid. That's like going to school and getting paid to go to school.
Yeah, it wasn't
amazing.
like, but you were killing your car and you were like driving like 10 hours in between gigs and stuff like. It's good if you partnered up with somebody.
Sure,
that was always good.
So you get told that's from working at the Lovitz Comedy Club. You submit.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, now I know how to do an hour. Mm-hmm. So then
the one that does it now, Barry Neal Entertainment Max does a lot of those same rooms.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Barry Neal. I've not heard of him.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he fired me from his roster.
Why?
Because I didn't go to a gig. Well, it was a snowstorm, and it was like I had just had a horror. It was 2017. It was right after Trump got elected.
Everybody was sad.
Oh well, no, I went up and the whole room and like. This casino hated me. They liked the opener. He was good. But like I made a joke about, because I'm not a political guy.
Yeah. I
made a joke about my divorce. And there was like one room, one table that liked me, and then like the other 100 people didn't like me.
Oh,
and I was
damn.
And then so you do like 2 gigs, and there was the second one. The opener was just like he was with his girlfriend, and he was like, he said the storm looks too bad. I'm not gonna go. And I was just like, so if you go, you get all the money. I was like, all right, sweet. And then it was in, it was Farmington, New Mexico. I can't remember the other town. And so like the roads were closed because it was like so icy, and like the main roads, because there was like no interstate. It was like, it's going to be bad. It was going to be hard. And they turned me around and go, you got to put chains on your car. And I had this Toyota. I got a Toyota Camry. Everybody's driving like big trucks and stuff like that. I go to Walmart, try to put chains on my car because I'm like, oh man, this would be like
an adventure.
This would be like pretty good pay, on a thing. I'm going to do an hour and a half. I'll figure my way out. And I can't get the chains on. I asked this old man in this town, and he's just like. I go, how do you get chains on these things? He goes, well, first of all, I wouldn't drive that pussy car up these mountains.
You're like, relax, stop judging me.
And I'm like, yeah, California plates, I get it. And
you're like, but let me show me how this pussy gets up the mountain.
Yeah, they go, you ain't gonna make it, son. And I was just like, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'm not gonna make it. So
damn, that wasn't your fault. You tried.
You're looking for.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
and you're just making cuts. Okay. No. So Barry Neal. But you're plugged in now. So now you're like you're on people's radar.
Yeah.
So then you're a full-time comic now, or actor/comic.
Act, comedy, stand up, that kind of thing. Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. So where are you? All the things. Are you on the road right now? Then
not anymore.
Are you done with it?
Yeah. I was working with somebody. Was open for. We're not.
Name names.
Off air.
Okay.
She's talented and funny, but just different.
Didn't gel. Understood.
Yeah. So I haven't really pursued it much, to be honest.
That's understandable. And so, because acting seems to be going really well for you.
It's okay.
Okay. A humble guy on here.
Right.
What's a way that people can see you before we go to the next section?
the fun Matt Lewis on
Okay.
socials. I'm across all platforms.
Across all platforms. How do you know Mac Miller and Ariana Grande?
What?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Mac. Matt.
Just
Matt.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Well, if you
Mr.
notice,
Miller.
there's only one picture of us.
Well, he's also deceased. So
I know. He wanted that was. I was on his bucket list.
What does that mean?
No, I just fucking.
I was like, I have to know everything.
No. They were. It was at a. Guy. It was at. Funny story. It was actually at an open mic.
Fuck off.
They were at an open mic at
Why?
Mel's.
Why?
They were. It was in 2016. I didn't even know who they were at the time.
Bless your heart. Okay.
And it was Anya Malik was hosting an open mic, and like it was at Mel's on Hollywood and Highland, and I was like it was like me, like I remember like a lot. It was always like really little chill open mic, and everybody's like, oh, did you see that? You see that? There's some little short Latin girl and some white guy are sitting there, doing like the Lady and the Tramp thing, where
I'll
they're
die.
doing each other's milkshake kind of thing, and they go, do you know who that is? I go, no. And I go, he goes, that's Ariana Grande. I go,
Okay.
and I go, Grande, and she's only like 5 foot flat.
Yeah, she's tiny.
So I wasn't like, I knew who she was because like I have like nieces,
Sure.
or like cousins and shit, and I really wasn't even into his music, and I walk out and I'm leaving, and they're like parked next to me. I go. And he repeated one of my jokes. It was a football joke.
I love
he was
that.
a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And I have a joke about, it was just a stupid little throwaway one-liner. It was just like, what does every Raiders fan want for Christmas?
What?
Parole. And
My God, that's so real. That is too real.
and he's like, so so that was, and I was like, oh man, hey, I was like, yeah, it's cool that you guys make people happy. Is it cool if I take a picture with you? And she goes, yeah, and we did that. So yeah.
That's really lovely.
And then I posted it. And she, I don't know. All I did was like 12 people saw it. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then I think I tagged her in it because like 2016, I'm dumb. And then like after she clicked like or something,
that was
it went nuts.
Yeah.
Because I said we're releasing our tour dates tomorrow.
That was your yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, like they're in on it.
Yeah.
And then like. My shit blew up, man. It was because I still have my phone. I don't know if you remember the early days of Instagram. You could put your phone number on there and people would call you.
You could put your phone number on Instagram?
Yeah. And like,
I do not remember that.
yeah. And so people were calling me.
That's insane,
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah. And they were just, and like people were trying to get like the picture and da da da.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I did have a gig, but it was like a shitty casino gig in like northern Nevada. And
I bet it's sold out. I
had that. People. It was called Winnemucca, Nevada. And people were like, guys, like, what's going on? What's going on? The talent manager is like a Thursday show, and he's like, what the fuck's going on? Why am I getting so many calls about this?
That's amazing. Isn't that crazy, Matt? How like tangential celebrity will explode your shit?
Well, like, cause like at the time, like she had like I don't know, I think it was like 70 million Instagram followers or something insane, right?
Still insane.
Or not seven, but. Or she had
just
like,
crazy
she had like
numbers.
7 million, and like at the point of the time, like Barack Obama had 1 million.
Holy shit.
And people are like, oh, come to Athens. They're like, no, don't go to Athens. Go to Buenos Aires. Don't go there. Go to Mexico City or whatever. Come to, Miami or whatever. I was just like, I was just doing a dumb joke. And she was kind of, she likes funny guys.
Sure,
And
sure. She has a type.
Yeah. And she liked, Mac Miller had he has a little smart ass about
He's
him.
very funny. It was.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't mean to.
No, I love it. That's why I asked, because I
Yeah.
saw the photo and I was like, especially because you had mentioned Jack Harlow in your set, and I was like, hey, this dude likes music. So I just figured your way in. Anyway, that's incredible. Okay, so well, I want to make sure we have. I don't want to hold you hostage.
Oh,
so
no, I'm wide open today.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So, Matt,
Yes.
now that we have talked about all of that, I have one more question. With comedy, what is the most annoying thing you experience with an audience where you're like, I kind of want to pack it in and give this all up?
Annoying. I don't really get annoyed by it.
You seem chill.
Huh?
You seem chill.
Yeah, I figure most people are doing the best they can with what they have.
Jesus, that's a really evolved, lovely response. Okay, so maybe I'll ask it less extreme.
Yeah.
Is there something that when you're performing, you're like, this one thing, even if it's something silly like, oh, when the comic moves the stool too close to the mic, or something small where you're like, when this happens, I do reach my max.
Okay, this is something I really don't like, and I really only notice this at open mics. Can I?
Please.
All right. Like say like you're there and like. Because I know how the gender dynamics are usually like there'll be like if there's like 15 people it'll be like 1 or 2 girls, you know, usually, unless it's and like a guy will be sitting next to a girl the whole time and doesn't say anything, and then once he gets on the mic he just like talking to her right then. And I go, that's just, I mean, like, man,
you were sitting next to her the whole time.
Yeah. That's the one thing I don't like.
Okay.
And and if she didn't like, it put people in a weird spot or something like that. And it's just like, if you're gonna be who you are, I don't. That's the only thing is I don't like comics who are different, like 180 degrees different than they are on stage.
It reads as inauthentic.
Yeah,
it bugs me too.
Somebody who is just like, you know, hey man, I just, you know, we got to think about the wars and we got to think about that, and then they're screaming at the valet attendant for taking 2 minutes too long to get their car. You know
that part.
Yeah.
A conflict in identity. I totally agree with you. That it's like, just be who you are. If you're an asshole, be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, just be you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts too.
Like, man, go to therapy, man.
Listen, end of episode. Sorry. We could end it on
Mic
that.
drop. No.
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's something like that. Be who you are on stage. And it's not easy.
No, it's not.
And you have to learn to like yourself.
That is the hard part. And you can tell the comics that actually don't.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah.
And that was a kind of a pigeonholed example, I guess.
No, I love it.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was looking at. Yeah, because I think we all have our own little quirky things that we're like, oh, this thing drives me bonkers. And yeah, that's my friend.
There's a lot of ethnicities I don't like.
Okay,
too.
and we're moving on. Here we go. We hope you enjoyed your apps. Let's move on to the entrees after a quick break. Okay. We're back, Matt. We're back into our very peaceful, beautifully inclusive conversation. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that was hilarious. Are you kidding? Okay. So now you are such a sweetheart. You've listened to the show, so you know how this part works. So if I don't ask the same questions, people get annoyed.
Yeah.
So what was your first job ever? Where now I say where the government was taking taxes out of your money. However, some people have said paper route and babysitting and stuff if you can't think of other things. So what was your first
job? My first job was at Taco Bueno.
Is that like a knockoff Taco Bell?
No, it's better.
Oh, it's better.
Oh yeah, it was.
Wait, was it out here or was that in Oklahoma?
It was in they're in like Oklahoma and like Dallas and.
Oh, so it's
Colorado.
a chain.
Yeah, it's a chain.
But it's better than Taco Bell.
Dude, yeah, okay, because we were right next.
Damn.
We were right next to a Taco Bell.
Big flex. Big flex on Taco Bell.
People from Taco Bell, because they were other teenagers too. I was like 16.
Of course.
And they would come over and eat, you know, in uniform.
Oh, I would take a picture now on social media. Immediately.
Pre-social media, man.
Yeah.
It was just, they had to remember things. Had
to be present in the moment.
Yeah, there was a guy there who worked there. His name was Rod Stewart.
Fuck off.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like the singer. But,
it wasn't. I thought it was.
He was weird.
Okay, well, we're gonna leave Rod Stewart alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so Taco Bueno, what was your title?
You made everything fresh there. Like,
oh, see, now that would be delicious.
Yeah, see, like you made the beans, you made the guac, you made we fried our own tortillas up out on location. Yeah.
So that's not I mean, I know that would still be categorized as fast food, but that's delicious.
Yeah, no, it was fresh. It
was that
fresh,
would make a difference.
And it was the same price. Yeah.
Why people would ever go to Taco Bell is insane. If they were right next door.
They had a Chihuahua. They had a Chihuahua doing the ads.
Marketing, baby.
Yeah, man. It was. I get it. Yeah, run for the border. You know.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
what was your title at Taco Bueno?
Bitch.
Oh, come on, Matt.
I was a. I don't know. I think I was the cashier a lot. I was.
Okay.
It was called the main guy, the main person who was like started the assembly line of the food. They would put the tortilla out, and they were called the steamer.
Oh, because you steam the tortilla to get it to be more flexible.
It apart. Yeah, and they had all the shells and stuff. There was the steamer, and then the second steamer, and then like a drive-through person or something like that, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Sure. So I think the thing that I'm trying, because whenever people have worked in fast food,
that was a part-time job. Yeah.
But I guess I get fascinated at the fact that it's so repetitive that I think the monotony would be what would kill me. And so many people who've worked in fast food have shared on the show, well, that's why they have you do all of the jobs.
Wash dishes sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, you had to like be good to be a steamer. Yeah. Because
was that like an upgraded position?
Yeah. No, like Rod was a steamer.
Mr. Stewart.
Yeah.
In between singing.
Yeah. He was like 25 and like dating the girls there. It was kind of like
also 25.
Yeah, but also it's
just what it is.
I mean he thought he was an R&B singer with that name, man.
Listen, he clearly has chart-topping hits, so we can't give him too much.
Some guys have all the luck.
Listen, now it's the end of the episode. Now we're done. Matthew. Okay, so Taco Bueno's your first job. How old were you when you started working
16.
there?
It was like the day I turned 16.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
In the Midwest, this is what we do. As soon as we can get to work, we are having the aprons made.
Yeah.
We're getting. Oh, go ahead. What?
Oh, I'll go. No, you go.
I was gonna say,
finish your thoughts.
This is just what we do in the Midwest. I mean, we are born to work.
I had a thought. Can I?
Please.
Can I interject?
Just this one.
Oh, okay. Fair. You're so fucking quick. You're so quick. I feel like how like in the for men they have like you have to register for selective service, or like in like Israel they have it where you have to like do like either like military or you have to work like be a philanthropy or something like that.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Mandatory. I think they should do something like that.
Finish
in
this
the U.S.
thought.
For either retail or food service or something like that, because it means more when we complain. It means more. It's like we've got our stripes. You know
that
what I
part
mean? Like,
we served.
Yeah, like Yeah, it's like. I want to tell you something. Our server was, really rude to my wife, and just to let you know, I was at Chili's in Des Moines for 3 years.
He's pointing to his shoulder right now, where his stripes
Iowa. I was.
Matt's sitting up straighter.
Yeah. So I know what I'm talking about here.
I get to complain, actually.
And those are the only people that should complain. We got too many Karens that have never worked in the freaking and male Karens too. Yeah.
100%. And the thing that drives me nuts too is if you are going to complain about something, like people hold, in my opinion, Michelin expectations for fast food. And it's like, you don't like, if you find a hair in there, you're lucky it wasn't a foot. Like, just remove the hair and eat it.
You're gonna eat someone's hair.
You
whatever,
and you might eat someone's hair at a Michelin restaurant. Like, holding standards for places that simply don't deserve that level of standard is so irritating to me.
It treat us like we're protecting missile codes.
Yes, it's like, my God, it's a taco.
Yeah, it's a taco. You're gonna eat one tomorrow. Stop.
You're gonna be fine. Yes, and I understand if you're gonna throw down $500 for a whole coursed experience.
Yeah, like a Prime Steakhouse,
absolutely,
Lawry's or something like that.
Absolutely, I get it.
Yeah.
But like the number of people that I hear bitching at like a Dunkin' Donuts about the cost, it's like, baby.
Or the videos of someone going off on a fast food.
Yes.
I mean, who wins?
For what? Why? Yes.
Who wins?
Yes.
Leave. Don't give them any more business.
That's it.
Leave.
End of list.
Yeah.
Like, you've made your point.
It's not like you're not like in the middle of the Mojave Desert and this is the only place you can eat. Go somewhere else.
Go 3 blocks. In your case, go next door.
Yeah.
Like,
go to
Taco Bell.
Go to the
Yeah. We woke up the dog on the couch.
Okay, Taco Bell. Huh?
She's offended. Yeah, I
know what happens here at 3 a.m. Here we go.
Listen, don't tell about it. Did you giving away my secrets?
Sorry.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. Because do you think that if people serve, what is it that you're hoping to be the outcome if there were mandatory service like that?
Empathy.
That's it. End of list.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
I mean, perspective.
And managed expectations.
Yeah.
Yes. Perspective. Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And do you think that, did it change who you were as a person? Like, knowing at 16 when you did that job, do you think you would have turned out as a different human if you hadn't worked in any kind of service like that?
Oh, I'd be, can I say the C word?
You sure can.
I'd be a big old cunt if I never worked.
Do you really think?
Yeah, I probably, because I know people that have never worked with people, never worked with, general public stuff. And
do you really? I find that so rare. You do know people.
Well,
that
I mean,
never
like
have.
I keep in touch with like normal people. I don't just hang out with like
Comics and
actors and entertainers. No, man. I know guys that like work in like dog food factories and stuff like that.
Oh, sure. Factory work. I guess you can get into that at 16.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, but like now, I mean, like I know a guy who's like managing a and he's not a bad dude per se, but
Sure.
I just know like guys that work in like lumber mills and stuff like that, or they never had to deal with people like that.
It is wild how I feel like it's so common, but I guess you're right. Like if you get into the pipeline of factory work at the age of 16 and you ride that out till you're 65, you really won't have ever interacted with customers.
Exactly.
That's such a good point. So you actually really don't know what's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, they just go, oh, that's like you walk into a restaurant and you're like, oh man, a couple tables need to get bussed or whatever, blah blah blah. Oh, they must be short staffed today.
You clock it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're like, that's a trainee. You know?
Yeah, 100%. We have eyes for it. It's so true.
Oh, you can say like, oh, the manager had everybody move their cars in front to make it look busier, and they're gonna.
We've had to do that. That is so funny. No one has ever said that.
Yeah, no, we used to do this place called Rib Crib. That was
funny.
That was a chain. Now it's a chain. I helped work at the original one. It was in Tulsa.
Funny. Roadhouse Grill in Milford, Ohio, that it no longer exists, was one of my very first jobs.
Yeah, like on a Sunday when it was like dead.
You had to make it look busy.
Yeah, exactly. And people walk in like
so funny. It was the only time we got good parking. Otherwise, we had to park somewhere else.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
No,
yes, that you have done it. You have earned your stripes, sir.
No, that's not my. But that was the other job. Yeah, that was a Rib Crib. That was a
Rib Crib.
Yeah. Oh God, we used to haze people there. Like new employees, because it was always like everybody's restaurant job. I was in a fraternity too.
Oh, you are a bro, Matt.
No. But yeah, I went. Anyway, but like so, like their first job was what do you call that? Working at a restaurant, and it'd be like, hey, we told them the ice machine freezes up. Did you have this one too?
Yes. Tell everyone what this is.
So they have like ice machine where they get all the drinks and stuff. You're like, oh yeah, ice gets frozen up, so you gotta fill up like 5 or 6 bus tubs. You gotta rotate the ice.
That's not what we had to do, but keep going.
Oh yeah, so like, and it was some really enthusiastic, 15, 16-year-old kid that he would, because like we were 17 or 18 at the time, and he thought we were cool, so he wanted to be like us. And he's all scooping the things up. He's got 7 or 8 bus tubs, big gray bus tubs full of ice,
thinking he's rotating it up.
And the owner would walk in. He was like an old football guy. It was just like, he'd be like, "What the hell's going on here, partner?" And sir, Crawford and Mr. Lewis, Matt told me to rotate. God damn it, boys! It's just like they're like, God damn it, get that. Go sweep up shit in the parking lot or something. I can't even be around you right now.
We got the one, they used to tell us, the cooks would do this to us. Yeah. Oh, you have to empty out and thaw the ice machine so it would screw us for the next shift.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, okay, I guess we have to like thaw it and clean it out. Yeah. And then there would be no ice for the next shift. And we'd be like, what happened? And they're like, did you not turn it back on? It was like that kind of shit. That's so ridiculous. Okay, so that was Rib Crib. You were
they're like
people.
they're like not nationwide, but a lot of them now. There's like 100.
They still exist? I've never heard of them.
We opened the first one. My buddy Crawford got me the job. He was the first. I went to a weird high school, man. You ever seen the movie The Outsiders?
No.
Never seen that?
No, I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
You had to read it or anything? That was my neighborhood.
Based on that.
It was shot there and written by a woman who.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah,
Outsiders.
Francis Ford Coppola's movie, Tom Cruise, first movie, Emilio Estevez.
Damn.
And they were like the greasers. They were. I went to a really roughneck high school, and it was just dirty people.
But what made you bring up the weird high school?
Oh no, because I wasn't like I was in a fraternity, little bro, but I went to like it was mostly like black and in Indian high school. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oklahoma. Yeah, but I play football and stuff like that.
So you fit in.
Stop. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you worked at Rib Crib. Then how? Now I want to get into. Now Matt is wearing a very, very adorable that he still owns name tag from QT or Quick Trip for those of you not from the Midwest, and it says Matt L on it, and it gave him credit for 3 years. Although having spoken to him since I've seen his photo, we know he worked there for 7 years.
I think so. Yeah.
So he put in his time.
Yeah.
So that was that right after Rib Crib? You went to QT?
Yeah. I think so. I think that's how it worked.
Now we're going to get into Quick Trip in a couple more questions.
Oh yeah.
But
Love Quick Trip.
before I ask you about Quick Trip,
still keep in touch with my Quick Trippers.
I'll bet you do, because that's like going into war.
That's another fraternity I was in.
I 100% believe you.
Yeah.
I would say, for people who don't know, it's like if Buc-ee's and like a Walmart, but also your favorite local gas station had a baby.
Wawa, I've heard.
Wawa. It's a lot like Wawa's.
Yeah, especially now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Buc-ee's is like for people who don't know, it's like in the South, but it's also inching its way towards the Midwest for being essentially like a gas station Walmart. I mean, it's massive.
Costco level.
You can get everything
100
there.
pumps.
Yes.
And it's like a Bass Pro Shops inside.
Yeah,
of it.
and you can sleep there, and it's like a mini
beaver nuts.
Yep.
Beaver nuggets. And they got like a sushi chef, and they're cooking
insane.
Prime rib.
Yeah.
And they really are. I'm not doing hyperbole here.
Yeah. And Quick Trip is that, but I would say with a little less budget.
Yes, it was. Oh, yeah, especially back in the day. Oh, yeah, it was in the dirty 90s. Yeah, yeah.
You were in there the dirty 90s.
In the 2000s, man, early 2000s. Yeah, it was rough.
Well, we're going to get into it, but I want to ask, how many customer service jobs have you had total then? So if we say Taco Bueno, Rib Crib, and Quick Trip, that's 3.
Yeah.
Can you think of others?
Yeah. God, I worked at this place called Anthony's. It was a clothing store. I ran the shoe department. That was a high school job. But like everybody stole.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's closed now. I think the whole
because you guys robbed them.
Oh no.
So you were in the shoe department of Anthony's.
Yeah, and it was like I said, I lived in a knucklehead area, and so shoes were at a premium.
But they were.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was a lot of that where you like, oh, this is somebody's shitty shoes they put in a box of Air Jordans because they spread it off,
switched it out.
Oh, switcheroo.
Yeah, that's clever.
Yeah.
Did you in dealing with the shoes piece with people? Did you ever get people who came in that you're like, this person's fetishizing the foot experience? Did you ever run into that?
I didn't know. I wasn't. You
weren't on the floor.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't aware of foot fetish being a thing. I still don't. I
know it's a thing. I guess. I know.
I can look at a woman's foot and go, "That's attractive," and go, but okay,
you can't sexually. I know.
Yeah, I'm like.
We're not yuck and yums. It's just confusing. It's just confusing. Yeah.
Boobs are nice too. I mean,
boobs, ass, all of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
and her personality.
Oh, Matt isn't just his boobs and his ass. He is also a personality.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were in the Knucklehead area doing Anthony's shoe department. What else? What other jobs?
I think of other jobs. When I had to go back to Oklahoma after my mom died, and I had to work at a sub place called Lenny's Subs.
Lenny's Subs.
And it was rough because on occasion I'd see people I knew and it'd be like, it wasn't like a cool place. It wasn't like a cool trendy restaurant or anything like that. It was a job while I was there because I needed a little bit of cash and one of my fraternity brothers owned it, and it was chill.
But you're drowning in grief, and now you're seeing people and you're like, no, I swear to God, I'm successful.
Like, yeah, and they're like, how's Los Angeles going for you?
You're like. You're like, my mom just died. Can you please stop? I get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
Rough. That was a little bit of a
humbling,
swallow your pride kind of thing. Yeah. I worked at a candy store while I was there too.
Okay,
it was like seasonal stuff,
Yeah, but just to get by.
And people ask stupid questions still. Nobody's gotten smarter. The smartphone.
Wait, at the candy store, people ask stupid questions.
Everywhere.
What's a stupid question you got at the candy store?
It was just like, do you? What color gift? The gift wrapping questions. It were like 10 questions about gift. I was just like, no, we put it in a box and there you go, and that's what you get, And it was just like
it's a perishable good. I am not going to box this 3 times over and wrap it.
It's like, what temperature do you? Room temperature. Where you going?
I am one of those people with fudge, because I love fudge.
Yeah,
and I do want to know the temperature that it needs to remain so that it'll just slice perfectly like good butter.
Oh yeah, they would ask me like all the what are they called, like questions that you would ask a chef or
like
something.
A sommelier over wine.
Yeah, that was just like I'm getting paid minimum wage, bitch.
You're like, ma'am, I will invent an answer so you feel better.
Oh, I did that
too.
Oh, I always do.
I did that once when I was bartending and I was in way over my head. This person ordered a drink I had never heard of before or since.
Yeah,
and I just made up all of the ingredients,
absolutely.
and she was like, "This is the best one of
swagger.
These."
You've got
that's
swagger.
It. All you got to do is just sell it.
Want your first rodeo? No.
Okay, so you work at the candy the candy store is part of the mom experience.
It was called the Sweet Tooth. Nice people.
That's
people.
nice.
Really
okay.
Nice people.
What else have you had for customer service?
God, not much recently.
That's okay. Okay, so we have, let's see.
I worked at a Walmart.
No.
Yeah, I worked at a Walmart.
Oh, sir.
That was I quit in the middle of a shift.
You have to have.
Yeah.
Wait, tell us that story right now.
It was in college, and I worked at a Walmart, and this is where you could still like smoke in the break room, and everything was gross in there because everybody smoked in the break room, and people would be like, "Man, I just don't think Bill knows what he's doing as a manager. I mean, I said I got to get off by 5:30 so I can go see my grandkids on Thursdays," and because it was like two rival gangs in the Walmart. There was like the townies, and then there was like the students, and we hated each other. And you had to wear like this blue vest, and it was like all passwords and codes, and they hated us. They didn't trust us. They shouldn't.
That was earned.
Yeah, no, it was earned. It was earned. We would screw it. We like, you're like, yeah, look, it's stocked. We'd just pull one thing up to the front, and then like, we do the most bullshit stuff because they needed people, but they needed good people, and we were there working on our degrees and hoping to leave, and that
is such a different mentality. You're right. Working on your degrees and hoping to leave is such a different mentality.
And they cared about their job, but they also didn't trust us, and they shouldn't.
They shouldn't have. Of course not.
Oh yeah.
That never works out, and there is that gap of people who you're like, no, this will be the career you retire from, and I'm using this as a flyover.
And they would worry about like shoplifters, and I'd be like, yeah, that's a thing. Yeah. Just like
Yep, that happens.
Yeah, we found some candy bar wrappers all the way on the other side of the store. Someone must be stealing and eating them.
Somebody must.
They couldn't have paid for them because the barcode was over. And I go, yeah.
And it certainly wasn't one of us.
Yeah.
It has to have been a customer.
Oh, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I would look at him and I go, yeah.
I actually can't be asked to care. It's a corporation.
Sorry. I'm not wearing a tie. I'm just.
I don't make the rules. I'm just here.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So Walmart. So I'm gonna count. Let's see. So Taco Bueno, Rib Crib, Quick Trip, Anthony's, Lenny's Subs, Candy Store, Sweet Tooth, Walmart. So that's 7.
I think so.
That feels right. Okay. 7 jobs.
Maybe more. I'm like, but
okay.
I gotta like.
Well, you're going to think this is always what happens.
I got to take ketamine to release some of these.
Yeah, this is always what happens. I'll get messages like days after I've interviewed someone who's like, oh, I forgot like 3 more. And it's always the people that have had like more than 5 jobs.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, actually, I had 15. And I'm like, no, I know.
Fair.
The same happened to me.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay, so which was your least favorite of all of those?
Walmart. That was the worst place. It was, yeah.
Now, you said you quit in the middle of a shift.
Yeah, I did.
Tell me what happened.
Oh, because they had like football games, because it was like a college town, and I found out that I was going to have to work on one of the football games. I don't mind. I didn't mind a little bit, but it was like our big one. We played Oklahoma, and I was and I was the new guy, and so I was just like, and I was like, man, I really don't want to be here. And so I just took up my vest, folded it on the little break room table.
That's nice.
Yeah, folded it like a gentleman.
Like a gentleman.
Yeah, and left.
Good.
And they're like, hey, I Irish goodbye. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
That's the way to quit any job. Just nope. I'm not even saying
like you don't. Was that you don't own me? Well. I'm not just one of your pretty
little
toys. Little toys. That's the one. Yeah, I didn't have that. I wasn't that smart to do that, but I was just like, nah, I'm gonna. They're like, well, you have to work Saturday. I was like, no, I don't.
I actually don't. I don't have to do anything. And I'll see you.
Yeah, I know how indentured servants are, and I'm not one. Here we go. And
free will, baby.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay, so you leave in the middle of the shift. Did you end up getting that last paycheck? Did you?
It may still be. I don't know. Maybe one of those unclaimed property things. I thought I probably scooped it. I don't know if I think they mailed it to me.
I think they have to
after like a month or something.
30 days. Yeah, they have to mail it.
Okay. No, I think that was what it was. I didn't want to. Well, because I still went there and shopped.
Yeah. Because there's one option.
Right? Ramen. Whatever. Yeah.
You're gonna show your face there.
Noodles
again.
and natural light. College boy.
Natty light. Oh God.
Oh, yeah,
vomit and
that's
piss
the
in a
second
can.
beer. That's the second beer. You start with you always started with Coors.
Yeah, and
or
then
you
you'd-
started with Bud Light. Or you started with something good. Then after your tongue's wet, then you go to Natty and Keystone and all that. Yeah.
Now you mentioned drugs earlier. Were you big into drugs in college?
Oh, I wasn't.
Were you big into drugs at any point?
I smoked weed, but it was also like, it was like, kids don't know, man. Weed used to be like a velvet rope thing,
What does that mean? What do you
Where it was just like, oh, you got weed, cool.
Oh, like it was like a hard to get thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was just like it felt cool, It was like, oh, you're in the club. Oh, this guy's cool. He can smoke with us,
Yeah.
As opposed to, and it's like it's like going to a freaking CVS out here,
It's so it's such you're making a very sentient point that I think because of the accessibility, that could also speak to why the drug problem has also gotten out of control. Besides, like all of the pharmaceutical stuff, it's like it's too easy to get.
Yeah.
So like you have to go to the harder stuff to look cool.
Like
It's so true.
I didn't realize I was a really funny comedian until I started getting offered cocaine.
That isn't it wild?
It's validating,
It's so-
it's like,
so insane.
it's like, hey, VIP room, come on in.
I didn't know that I was accepted at the Comedy Store until people started handing me cocaine, and I'd have to be like, "Oh, so sorry, not my thing."
Sorry, I still
Like-
get along with my parents.
I don't actually want to die. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That isn't that weird that becomes the barometer.
It's just like, oh, that's not,
I hope the FBI is listening. Like, all right,
man,
name
hey,
names.
Yeah, man, I got
It's like literally walk into any comedy club, you could make so many arrests.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Could you imagine if a drug sniffing dog walked into any of the comedy clubs
It would
out here?
explode.
It would actually die. It would have an aneurysm and be like, that's a sketch. There's a sketch there somewhere where the drug sniffing dogs explode.
It would be, oh man, I'm blanking on him. It would be like Gallagher's watermelon.
All these German shepherds exploding. I love animals. I just think that's very funny. Okay,
love
yeah.
you,
Matt's petting a dog. Yeah. Okay, so what is the weirdest thing you've been asked to do whilst on the clock at any of these jobs?
Weirdest thing. Oh man, that was a Quick Trip because that was the place. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a 4th of July. I didn't mind working 4th of July because you always got paid like time and a half there.
But that's a hard day to work there because that's where all
beer
the
and ice.
Yeah,
beer,
gone.
yeah,
and people get angry.
Oh yeah, and it was right next to the one. This one was right next to where the big firework display was in town.
Forget it.
Oh yeah,
Matt.
and it was one of those old Quick Trips before it was like nice and like easy to get in and out of, and so we didn't have any. So we were just cranking the whole time, bagging ice, selling beer, moving stuff, and keeping it cold, and then apparently we hadn't checked the restrooms for a while.
No.
Yeah, and somebody had apparently like both of the sit downs were gone, so people had been.
Wait, get more specific. What do you mean both of the sit downs? Like the lids?
The toilets.
They had literally ripped the toilets out of.
No, not ripped them out, but just filled them up.
Yeah. They were no longer options.
Yeah, they were no longer options, and people still had their chili dogs or whatever.
So people were shitting on top of what was not flushing?
and then in the urinals.
Matt!
That
makes me sick at my stomach.
Oh, yeah, it was gross. That was probably the worst one.
Wait, but then would it become your job to have to clean that out?
Yeah, it was just clean, yeah. And then, but also it was just like, it was, so there was like a door right next to it, and we had like power washers to clean the lot, so I just started it.
You are so smart.
Yeah.
Is that what you used to finally get it to flush?
Yeah, we had the 64-ounce double quart things. And
I'm actually gonna be sick.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I know. And we had like the arms. Like,
he's motioning up his arm and he's showing what he had to do to go down in that drain.
The 64-ounce cups, and it scoop.
So you just had to scoop it.
I scoop and toss, and it probably got like rats and stuff out there.
God in heaven. Wait, so did someone alert you to the fact that the toilets were amiss?
I don't remember if someone told us or like it finally got to the point where I needed to, or one of us.
You had to go.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. That was. Yeah. It was.
But here's what I don't understand because I've heard Starbucks. People who've worked for Starbucks have been on the show.
Oh
and
God,
have
those people have to poop a lot.
Well, coffee is a diuretic.
Yeah.
But I guess like in your job description, because that's technically, I mean, if I'm being really uptight, it's biohazard.
Yeah, now they have a janitorial service.
Yeah, because you have to you're exposed.
These are the wild, wild west days.
But there are Starbucks though.
Yeah.
Today, where like the employees who are making your coffee are also the same ones that are going into the bathroom. Yeah. So I'm like, to make minimum wage and do that. I'm not saying I'm above it. I'm just saying like you're going to pay me $7.25 an hour.
Well, I mean, Starbucks is barely getting by as a company. I mean, they only made like 3 or 4 billion last quarter.
You know what? I should be compassionate.
Yeah, so you're
right. So
think about some of the billionaires.
Think
okay?
about that.
Billionaires.
Thank you for this perspective, Matt.
I mean,
you're right.
Yeah.
Billionaires suffer too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? I'll amend the question. That's just.
Sorry.
We're gonna do this for 20 minutes. Okay, so you're cleaning out the toilet. Did you like have?
Oh yeah,
were you gagging?
I didn't vomit, but I got close.
Oh, I would have.
Yeah.
Oh, I just would have.
Yeah.
So you're power washing. Is that a true? Are you doing a bit, or did you actually use the power washer?
I did use the power. I wasn't supposed to, but I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations is gone.
But also,
it was like what we used on the concrete, but I didn't do it like full blast.
Yeah, but you have to. I mean, that's not stupid. To me, that's not you being like so insubordinate.
Yeah,
that's like, how am I going to deal with this biohazard?
Well, like I would scoop a lot, and that kind of thing. Yeah,
that's so fucking gross. Okay,
scoop, poop, scoop.
How long did you last at that job after the July 4th experience?
Oh, yeah, that was no problem. That was just
it was just a regular day.
Yeah, because like also here's the thing about that company. Here's the thing. Everybody was cool.
Oh, that's good.
Almost like 98% of the people that worked in the office, like the administrative offices, they were all store guys.
Oh, they started.
They were almost all of them were all like store.
That's cool.
Maybe even the IT computer tech guys were guys that had worked in stores.
I kind of love that model.
Yeah,
a lot.
The people that fix the equipment and stuff like that.
That goes back to your previous point about everybody should have to work in this in order to be empathetic. If you come from the storefront and you know how hard that is, you're going to be so kind to the people who are still boots on the ground.
You get it.
That's really smart.
All the supervisors, all the guys who were like area managers, they were all guys that had worked overnights in the stores and stuff like that.
I love that.
And it built a real definite. Also, the other thing is, if your store made money, you made money.
In what way? Like you would be commission based?
You get a cut off of your store.
That is so smart. Do you know, do they still do that?
Oh, yeah. That's why they're so friendly. You had secret shoppers, and they had things like you had to wear your name tag. You had to greet the customer. You had to thank the customer. You had to invite them to come back. You had to get the prices correct. And they would have secret shoppers coming in. If you just got that part, like those 6 customer contacts, was just greet, wear your name tag, blah blah blah. You got $50.
That is so smart. I can't even. This is why.
Yeah.
What is it called when you are? It's not It's not a co-op. It's like you.
Yeah, it's similar.
But there's something
employee owned.
Employee owned.
Yeah, or employee centered. Well, that was also like they had a triangle thing. There was a pyramid thing. They said, hey, if you take care of the customers and you take care of them, you take care of the employees, the profits are going to take care of themselves.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that is an actual fact.
Because you're going to get return customers. They're going to do your advertising for you. You don't need to put up billboards.
All word of mouth. That's so true.
And if you say, hey, I like Mr. Pibb. Can you guys get Mr. Pibb? If they can get Mr. Pibb or whatever, they'll get it. Whatever.
That's incredible.
Or whatever
it is.
And also, you don't have to train new people all the time. You don't have to spend time hiring.
Turnover is the most expensive thing that a business will go through besides lawsuits.
And that was the mentality I learned business.
Wow.
With that kind of.
So how did the profit breakdown go how you would get a cut?
Okay, so every month you would get audited. They'd find out how much stuff was missing because there's always going to be some stuff missing. Whatever, it wasn't a big thing, but they would find out how much money your store made, and like they
subtract the losses.
Yeah, losses, whatever, and labor if you guys went over on labor or whatever, and that kind of thing. And the manager would get like a chunk, like I don't remember the exact numbers.
Sure.
2 or 3% or something like
that.
That's
huge.
Of a store that made like $100,000 that month.
Damn.
That month.
That's $2 or $3 grand.
Yes. And then his assistant would make a little bit less than that.
Damn.
And they had like 3 or 4 assistants, and even the clerks and not the part-time clerks, but the full-time clerks would make a percentage of that. Plus they had the bonuses based on your customer contacts, the secret shops, and you would get, even if your store made all this money, they would have shops, and you had to have clean floors, clean racks to get drinks or whatever, merchandise price. You'd get like a percentage score based on that, and that would be how much of your bonus you got.
because that's what kept people coming back.
1,000%. That is the smart. And this is essentially a
These are dumbass Oklahomans.
Yeah. And this is like a gas station.
Yeah.
I mean, and to care that much.
Running like an MBA program, basically.
And working.
Yeah.
It's working. I mean, they are. I should have looked at
they're
their
getting
profits.
bigger. They're and also, and then I one of my buddies I used to work with like 20 years ago. He's a manager then. He's just coming up on retirement. He's finishing, I think 30 some odd year, I think it was. And he was just like, oh yeah, I gotta pay taxes. He's about to step away. He's hanging it up, and he's retiring. He made good money while he was there.
Sure.
Like you guys make six figures. You know, they were making six figures back then.
Damn.
You know, you worked your ass off, but you got paid. And he's retiring. He did a lot of employee stock purchases.
Options or whatever. Yeah.
It was a privately held company. He has to pay $1 million in taxes, but he's getting a check for I think $6 or $7 million.
Sir, this is from working at a glorified gas station.
Yeah.
I just want to keep emphasizing that. That is so impressive. That makes me want to patronize.
He came out and visited me. He actually came to my show when I was in
I love
Tulsa.
it.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to patronize QT way more.
I know. I don't want to. You got to go to Phoenix. That's the closest one.
Is that the closest one?
Yeah.
One of my closest girlfriends from college, hey Tiffany, she was a teen mom, and she got pregnant our freshman year of college, and she transitioned to working at Quick Trip because she was like, "This is how
flexible."
I'm gonna have to. They were amazing to her.
They gave me a scholarship when I was working there. They because they wanted me to stay. I had every opportunity. That was probably the only thing I was like, and also like we would talk so much shit when we worked there too, because everybody was like quick. They were like wired, like comedians are.
Yeah, of course.
And you'd be like, especially when you worked at like ghetto stores. You get paid more to work in ghetto stores too. That was fun.
Sure. What he meant to say was more urban. You get paid more and more urban stores. But yes. The stores that have higher crime.
Well, it was harder to staff.
Sure.
And
the turnover is real.
Yeah, it was.
And they exist in those areas too.
Like there was one had like holes in the wall.
Yep, I've been in St. Louis. I've been into a few that had that, where they would point them out and be like, "That's from this shooting on this." I'm like, "This is we have problems." That's incredible. I did not know that. Listen, Quick Trip sponsor this show, but what an ad for them to work for great. Them and talk about a pipeline. Like, especially if you're a wayward high school student and you don't know what you want to do.
Oh, like you're talking like your friend. I know so many people that were just like, "Oh, I was gonna," and then like you have a kid young, and it was just like, "Hey man, bust your ass, you'll figure it out." And
then you're going to be making six figures and retiring with $6 million.
Yeah, well,
I know he's an anomaly, but
and that was the other thing is, at least in Oklahoma, because that was where they were based.
Is that where they started? I didn't know
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they would, you had that on your resume. Be like, oh, this guy can figure anything out. This girl can figure anything out. Whatever.
That is, Anthony Bourdain had a quote where he said that he, for whatever job, business venture, anything that he was hiring for, if they didn't have restaurant experience on their resumes, he would not hire them because he's much to the Quick Trip point. He said, if you have adept restaurant experience for longer than 6 months, he's like, you can do anything. You can tolerate anyone. You think on your feet.
Yeah.
Sounds like Quick Trip is a similar vetting.
I joke. It's like I'm always hit one whenever I'm in a town that has one, that kind of thing.
That's lovely.
I still keep in touch with a handful of people, not everybody, like social media or whatever, that kind of thing. So
that explains, actually, when I was driving through Oklahoma for this tour thing I did last year, that explains why the Quick Trip that I drove up to get gas from had full on a shower setup.
Oh, they had truck stops.
It was a truck stop as well.
I bet I know the one.
Lovely. They couldn't have been nicer to me.
Oh yeah.
That is so fat.
And you had them in college, right? You said.
Yeah. They were all in St. Louis. Yeah. That's incredible. Okay.
No, the people are great, and it's just.
I love
I'm
that.
sorry if I'm running long.
You're not at all. No, I want to. So, would you, if gun to your head, if you had to go back to any of your customer service jobs?
Oh, Quick Trip.
I mean, it seems obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there ever an incident that made at that job or anywhere where they asked to speak to your manager?
Yeah.
He was laughing before I finished the question. Wait, why?
The one that reminds me the most, it was like this woman was just. It was like the trendy part, like Tulsa, and people were a little bit more up their own ass a little bit.
Oh, shocking!
And she was complaining about something we were out of, and it was like busy, and there were like people, because you'd have like multiple registers going, because you'd have like that's probably like 800 1,000 transactions in an 8.5-hour shift.
People,
But some people are so quick.
That's incredible.
Here's the gas. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And there were like two or three registers going on. This woman was just going on in about something that we were out of, like biscottis or something,
And it's a goddamn gas station. What did you expect?
And she go, and and she's talking to me, and I like my manager standing right next to it. He was assistant manager, and he kind of like deferred to me on this one. And she goes, I just don't understand why you can't do this. Why is this store never happen? And then I just go. I just stop and go, well, in a perfect world, here's how things would happen. we would have it in stock so we could sell it to you and make more money.
And not have to do this right here.
We made an and she goes, and she goes, well, I want to speak to your manager. I go, he's the one laughing right next to me.
Yeah. He's actually, he doesn't care.
Brent right next to me.
That's hilarious.
I just got so much good time. They were like, there's got to be like some sitcom type stuff there. Dude, yeah, I loved working in the knucklehead stores, to be honest.
That's what I was gonna ask, is because I think that there comes at some point.
I didn't realize the value of fruit flavored soda until I worked.
I am not touching that with a mile long pole, and I'm just gonna keep it moving.
We did not have the all the slice flavors in. They would let us know.
I bet they would,
because I worked in different stores too.
Sure.
I would go because I was called a relief clerk, a relief person, because
you could jump stores.
Yeah, people would be sick or they got like an appointment or something like that. That was one of the other things they do. They had extra people on staff in the city, and
so fucking smart.
So far ahead of the game. Yeah,
so smart. So you're not really going to deal with being understaffed at any moment when people call out, because that's what people do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because someone, hey, Bob's having car trouble or whatever, kind of thing or whatever. And you're like, okay, cool. We'll just call extra relief and someone will come in and it'll be fine.
Now, would you get more money for going to a different store?
Yeah, and you get paid to drive over there.
That is so smart.
And
every part of this is employee centered.
Yeah,
which means it's ultimately customer.
It was employee designed.
That is so smart.
And it was like, hey, these are ideas, and some of them were dumb, but and some of them were like, oh, that's a pretty good idea. Let's do that.
Damn, Matt, that is such a I had no idea, because
it's a whole infrastructure, and it's privately held. That's the thing.
Still,
yeah.
Yeah. This is the thing. I just saw that In-N-Out opened their first location in like the middle of the country. I forget where it was. It was like people waited in line in 8.5 hours. And I was like, that seemed insane to me. And I was like, oh, because they refuse to be franchised out to anyone that isn't directly related
lower
to them.
Standards and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and they keep it exclusively in the family. Not a one of the franchises is owned outside of who they directly know.
Exactly.
Which is why they haven't expanded. And I'm like, that is so smart.
When you learn that kind of whole here's something like this name tag I'm wearing, right? So like it used to have like like most places have those little pin name tags.
Yeah, is this magnetic?
Guys would get their shirt, or guys and girls would get their shirts like holes in the shirt, so they just did a magnet.
That is so clever.
And you just throw them on the wall and grab it whenever you came out. Yeah.
Even just that, just being like, we want you to be even comfortable with that. That's incredible.
Just things like that.
It's small, but it isn't.
Yeah. And they had things like if your name tag was gold, that meant you were the manager. And they didn't
so smart.
So just to identify people, kind of thing. It's just things like that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I hope you keep taking it off and putting it back on so that clicking sound continues onto the mic. I hope. I'm teasing.
I'm not
no,
perfect,
teasing.
Man.
I'm teasing. I love that. I am going to take a picture of that. Okay, so. Do you? No, you are. Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm about to put on Matt's name tag. Yeah. Hold on. Oh God, this magnet is so fucking serious.
Yeah, no.
Did you guys just hear that clicking sound? That was Matt. It wasn't
you
me.
don't have to. Yeah, it's not even that hard. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Look at that. Look at
Matt, I'm working at Quick Trip for 3 years. It's incredible. Okay. What was the last straw that got you out of any of these jobs? Like, did you quit Quick Trip to move?
I quit Quick Trip to move to California.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, and it was like a big going away thing. Everybody was like,
they did it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was also like one of the first times I used to drink too. When because when I was in when I was in high school, they had like bars that would like it was like Wednesday was like all the assistant managers Friday night, so they would like all they all get drunk together and stuff like that.
I'm literally about to go apply at a Quick Trip. I'm going to move and leave California. That's incredible.
Keep doing this.
This is incredible.
I would love it if they were out here.
Could you like if you had to work there again, you would?
Oh, probably. Probably, yeah. There's a place called the Buccaneer Bar. It was like a carpeted bar, with like $1.50 beers and stuff like that. Yeah. It was just there was like quick trip bars and stuff like that. Cops were always there too.
Sure, because if they're going to the gas station, sure.
No, they would have to do paperwork. So they put
At Quick Trip?
No.
Oh, with the bar, Buccaneer Bar.
No. At the Quick Trips. So they put desks in the whatever called in the back room.
You fucking brilliant business to allow the cops to go somewhere when they're on the shift.
Write their shit up or whatever.
That is so smart.
And they would and a lot of times they would just read they'd read like workout magazines and Guns and Ammo and shit like that.
That is low key. You have security on premises.
It looks like you guys. They're just sitting there hanging out.
That is from a business perspective that works on so many levels.
Yeah.
And I bet if you had an incident at a Quick Trip where there wasn't a cop, you'd be first on the line.
Yeah.
They'd immediately come.
Yeah, I mean it's not perfect, Yeah,
of course not. They're humans, but that's so smart.
Yeah,
that's so smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to meet a lot of cops because I didn't know cops, and I was like, they're kind of. I mean, there's cool ones, there's idiots,
Sure,
It was just like everything else.
Just like anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. So, what was the last straw that got you out of any job? Then was there besides the Walmart where you walked out mid shift because you wanted to watch a football game?
No, I was going to go to.
I'm so sorry. You had tickets to. How dare I insult you? But was there a moment at any of these jobs where you were like, burn it down?
No, I never hated anybody. I don't think.
I'm so chill.
I mean, I left for another job.
Yeah, but that's not like a.
Yeah.
It wasn't I'm gonna flip a table.
Yeah, I the Walmart I walked out of.
Okay, that
to
one
me
counts.
that was intense, right?
I mean, you Irish goodbye. It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Before I even knew what that meant.
Yeah.
I wasn't that well read. Trying to think what else I've done. No, I don't think I've ever. I've never been. Was it like the Dave Chappelle half baked?
Yeah.
Fuck you, you're cool.
You're cool. I'm out.
Yeah, no, I never did that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, what have you ever? Then this is probably already know.
Oh yeah, this is
too.
so awesome seeing my name tag on you. This is awesome.
I am still wearing the name tag. Have you ever told a customer to fuck off? Then.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now how? In a nice way.
Clever.
You're clever. Okay, so
I'm from the South. Bless your heart.
Okay, well, let's do it right now. So what is it?
Like that. It was like that lady there where
That's
I was
what I was
just,
thinking.
That kind of thing where I was just like, we're not perfect. We make mistakes,
Because she really wanted to go to fisticuffs, and you're like, we're not. Though.
I never had to. Yeah, I guess it was like a different time where people are less.
Well, you also though, I think you do have an innate sense with people. So like, you're not someone who's like, oh, I want to fight with you.
Yeah.
You're like, cool, man. You clearly want to be angry. Yeah. I don't. I'll let you have that.
Yeah, I like. Hey, there's another store down the way, or whatever. I would.
You don't have to be here is my favorite shit.
Yeah, like I'm getting paid.
like my rate doesn't change because you're angry.
I'll be like, hey, they know me here. I've been here like 6-7 years. They know if I'm a dick or not.
They like me.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You're not a regular customer. The regular customers wouldn't be dicks.
That part.
That
part. Never seen you before or since.
Yeah, it's like a bar. You know what I mean? It's just like
don't be the one-time roll through that's also an asshole.
Okay. What are they called? Okay, Tuesday nighter, whatever, something, out of town or whatever.
That's so real.
Fuck off.
That's so real.
Fuck off. Wait, why do you think everyone's coming here?
For what?
Do you think we suck?
Yeah. If you get up, someone will fill that seat. The impact you think you're having is only drowning the room in your negativity. Yeah. That's it.
No, I've done that a couple times. I did a couple times where I told somebody, I said it, and I said the actual words, but I said, I go, nobody cares. But this is before cell phones and shit like that,
before TikTok.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like, nobody cares.
You're like, hey, ma'am, look all around. Not a one person here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like, if everybody was mad, you may have a point. Yeah, get the pitchforks and torches and stuff. But
run us out of town, as they say. There's a reason that phrase exists.
Yeah, run us out of town on a... Oh, worst. Can I tell you the saddest thing
Let's
I ever
go.
saw?
Oh, is it going to make me sad?
Maybe.
Oh God. All right, fine.
All right. So it was one of those ghetto stores I was telling you about.
Urban. Fine, you get
it. It was kind of like a rural part of
in Oklahoma.
Yeah, in Tulsa, and it was called North Tulsa, and it was people had horses.
Sure.
Yeah, and there was like this little kid who had a horse, and someone was like stealing gas. And they, because this is back before you had to prepay.
Yeah.
and they were like running, and they hit
the horse.
this little 8-year-old kid.
They hit the kid?
No.
Oh.
No, they hit the horse.
Yeah, that's sad too.
And the horse died
Oh my God.
in our parking lot and like bled all over the place.
Oh, hit them going quickly.
Yeah.
Did they get away?
Yeah, they got away, but they destroyed their car.
Also, I think what people who are not from the country don't realize is like that
it was like
small
the edge
horse,
of town. Yeah.
and that small horse was probably worth $4,000 or $5,000. Horses are not cheap.
Yeah.
And they cost a lot to have.
And it was this little black kid who was like 8 years old.
Was
and,
he devastated?
Oh, he was crying as like a we were nobody had anybody who saw that and goes, yeah, that's good. Yeah, no. We were just like, and the horse was like agonizing.
Oh
in
no.
pain.
See, I would have gotten a shotgun and shot him because the
No,
slow death.
Well, I mean that's what wound up having. They had to euthanize him with like a needle.
You have to
with a needle. And
yeah, because
stuff
you're
like
watching
that.
them slow.
And
Their
we had to,
organs
like,
shut down. No.
Yeah, and
No.
and it was just like nobody was unaffected by that. Like
were you there working? When
I was working there,
Oh, God,
and the
I
customers, everybody was just like, and the kid was obviously heartbroken. It was just
Now you said that the people were stealing gas.
because it didn't used to be prepay.
Oh.
They just trusted people.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. People would come in and say, "Hey, $10 on pump 10 or whatever," that kind of thing, or there's pre-credit cards, that kind of thing. I remember when credit cards came in thinking like, "Oh, that's not going to work." It worked. We used to, some of the people so I remember this one guy, Steve. He used to throw rocks at people whenever they stole gas.
Good for Steve.
Yeah, and he could just do it casually. He had this.
I love a good Oklahoma justice.
Yeah.
Does
He
have
was
flip
like,
wrist?
yeah, oh yeah, and he knocked out a few back windshields.
Good.
Yes, and it was. I'm like, luckily he didn't like it wasn't like a gun.
No, but he did like the $20 of gas you just stole cost you $5,000.
He'd go out, smoke a cigarette,
and just chuck rocks.
We're like, oh, that guy's gonna steal. Well, you learn how
you
to
can see
you
it.
can tell.
Isn't that wild?
Oh yeah.
You get that sense about people. And
well, you're working at the club. You're like, oh, this guy's gonna be a heckler. This bitch is gonna get drunk.
100%.
This couple's gonna argue with each other.
100%.
Yeah.
You just size it up.
Yeah.
Another reason that customer service jobs are valuable is because you do get that reading the room gift.
Do you use that on stage?
Oh, I like that. Thank you.
That's one of the things I was talking about before.
To be able to read who's going to be playful and who's not. Is that what you mean?
Who I
That's a
can
really good
fuck with.
suggestion.
Neck tattoo's a little intense.
He doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Gonna ignore him.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, so you know where to push and you know where to play.
It's such a good point. Rogan actually once before he went on, he saw what section I was in and he tapped me and he like pointed at this group of guys and I was like, why is he pointing at them? Because they were young and I like didn't know what he was pointing out. And Rogan is very, very particular about not being like filmed or recorded or photos taken, which I totally honor.
It's a workshop. Yeah.
It's a workshop.
Yeah.
And he taps me on the shoulder and he like points him out and I was like, I don't know what this is about. Okay. And so I go about my business work in that section. They had their phones out under, if you sit in, just like you can't see me, audience,
subtle,
but like
kind of
by their
stashed
hips.
away under the
Yep,
table.
and they were videoing him.
Yeah.
I see it at
And it's
at
a
the
dark,
same,
and it's
100%.
It's the store.
It's the
Everything
store.
is painted black.
That's right. And this was
Everybody's wearing black.
and it was in the main room,
Yeah.
which is huge, so
Yeah.
security can't catch all of it.
Yeah.
So I see it. Rogan sees it.
Yeah.
I go to handle it.
Before they even had security.
God.
Yeah.
Rogan stops performing because he can hear, like I'm whispering, but they're fighting with me. And I said, I have to have you delete that in front of me because they had gotten most of his set that he had done that up until that point. And they were giving me such a hard time that Rogan fully just stopped performing.
Yeah.
He goes, no problem, I'll wait.
That's chill. That's
Yep,
great.
and I got security, and security had to escort them out, and everybody was like clapping. And when justice like that stuff happens, I feel good. But
Joe's 30-year vet. He knows what he
knows what he's doing.
He knows he's going to get the room back.
And he did.
Yeah.
And he crushed. But when I thought I had a pretty good read on people, and they didn't strike me as like they were going to be problematic because they were very friendly to me.
Yeah.
They were nice. Until I was like, you need to delete that in front of me. And then, the words they called me and the things they said. And Rogan was like, just waited for them to fully be out of the building before he spoke again. And I was like, good. So yes, I think you can
learn how to size people up.
Yeah. It's survival.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to keep the room if that experience happens and you don't address it.
Exactly. And also, I mean, if he's working on a thing for a Netflix release or whatever, or HBO or whatever.
And he's under contract.
That's money. That's
right.
and it has to be nobody wants the avocado while it's still
Ripening.
Yeah.
Well, it's the yonder bag thing that everyone's pissed about, and
Love
it's
it.
like
Love it.
I love it too.
Love it.
I will say in Austin, when you walk into the mothership, your phone is put in a yonder bag. They don't care if you're going to see a show, not going to see a show, using the bathroom, whatever. And I'm like, good.
What do you need?
What do you need?
Do you have the nuclear coats?
Yeah,
What's going on?
that part.
That
part.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
And is your goal only to ruin the creative artist who's on stage right now? Because you get no other victory other than the cachet of being like, I was there. But if you're going to display their set on socials, like you're hurting them.
Yeah.
I would never want my shit.
I love this conversation.
Sorry, I'm getting
no,
going off.
Don't apologize for being
Thanks,
interested.
Isn't it? I mean,
I feel so in sync with you on that. Yeah.
Right, and like the Chappelle's like sort of club that he opened in Yellowstone. It's like it's only whenever he wants to perform, which I love.
Is that near where you're from?
Yeah, it's very close. And my friend said he like doesn't. He just like goes up whenever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
It's a yonder bag immediately.
Yeah.
Like you walk on the property, and I'm like, that's. I'm sorry that it's annoying. That's how it should be.
Yeah. You don't just walk in the kitchen and go, oh, pizza dough.
100%. That's such a good comparison. Yes.
I want pizza dough.
And then write a Yelp review like, this pizza tasted terrible. It's like,
it was cold.
It's like, it's dough, asshole. That is such an apt comparison.
I just came up with that.
Good job. Good at analogies. Put that in your bio.
Thanks, man.
What was going to be your Ohio story?
Oh, man. It was, God, you talk about fudge, and I remember one of my favorite things in Ohio was my uncle lived in New Philadelphia, Ohio.
Oh, I don't know it.
Yeah, it was two stories actually. One time I found $100, like we were going to the gas station. Maybe we were gonna buy candy with my cousins or something, and then like looking back, like, oh man, that place was kind of rough. That was probably like somebody's drugs, money or something like that. We were like, we wanted a Snickers bar. We found 100. And we were like, hey, look, we found money. And it was just like, yeah, you probably should go put that back. And then there was
the
like
cartel comes out of the bag, and you're like, oh, we will put it back.
Yeah. And then it was this Amish cheese factory.
Oh God, the best Amish food and
everything.
I
still remember that.
Oh, Ohio has that on lock.
Oh, dude, yeah, we
good.
took so much cheese from that place. You got samples.
Stole?
No.
Oh, you sampled. Okay.
How dare you? No, we did. We stole from the Amish.
These religious, like, not plugged in people.
No, they're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remember that. Those weren't really good stories. Those were just not.
They're anecdotes. It's good.
Yeah.
Use those on stage. How many? I already know the answer to this, but you have to still answer it.
Yeah.
How many bodily fluids have been on your person whilst you were on the clock?
Oh man.
I mean, from that toilet story, you can go ahead and say every single one.
Yeah, it was. I've had to clean up vomit
at QT or where?
People
barf at the gas station.
Oh yeah, it was
like not in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people.
Oh,
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. There obviously there's the poop, urine. There's blood where somebody would like come in because they get like they were not like a violent thing or something like that, but like they were trying to like fix something on their car or something like that,
and they blood
blood all over the place.
That happens.
God, there were so many funny things. I forgot, man. We used to say check the ice cream when it was like a hot girl in the store.
I love it. Check the ice cream.
Check the ice cream.
I love it. Everybody, we all have our ways to work around. I love that so much. Check the ice cream. I'm going to use that.
Damn!
No, can't get away with that. I'm going to start doing that when I see a hot guy. Check the ice cream.
Check the ice cream.
I like that.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Check the ice cream good.
Does the ice cream machine work? Now, you've never worked a tipped... Oh, no, that's not true. When you worked at the rib
Oh,
crib,
yeah, it was tipped.
That was tipped.
Yeah,
okay.
was tipped.
So then, do you tip?
Oh, I feel I do tip. I'm a double the tax guy.
Double the tax. Okay.
Because it's just they didn't used to. Oh, that's another thing. These kids. No, it's just I always try to tip cash.
That's kind. My mom does that too.
Yeah, because I just feel that's the right thing to do because I don't like the government sometimes.
Listen, from my cold dead hands.
Well, I mean, because like in Oklahoma, tipping was like restaurant jobs were like $2 an hour.
$2.13.
Yeah, $2.13, and I just looked at that as that's insane.
That's insane. That's insane.
That's insanity. Was it like that in Ohio?
Yes.
That's wild.
You want to know what it is now?
What?
$3.75. That's as much as they've increased.
Oh man, so they're all driving like Teslas.
Oh, they're rich.
Yeah.
Rich. They own $1 million homes, actually.
Yeah, nice,
So,
good. Yeah,
big
I
flex.
mean, you know, that's why Red Robin costs so much.
Red Robin. That worked. So double the tax. Okay.
I'm usually double the tax.
Okay.
I very few times I've ever stiffed.
I was just about to ask that. Okay.
I would say maybe less than 1%.
What would make you stiff someone?
Outright rudeness.
What does that mean to you, though? Calling you outside of your name, or what is the line of now I'm being rude to you?
Because like I know when someone is a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know when
We can smell
if
it.
you're busy, you're busy, and I get it.
If you're lazy,
if you're not busy,
Yeah.
and you're condescending, and you can't, you know, you just know. And I don't know how to put my finger on it.
I get you though.
Yeah, but
Have you seen these restaurants? I was just in Denver with friends, and they added a CHP fee, which is the Colorado Hospitality Program, and they said, in the way the menu presents it, there's a couple of restaurants out here that do it too, that say like, this is so that everybody in the restaurant can have a fair and equitable wage, and they put it on the menu. And I, of course, have eagle
there was
eyes.
a place like that. Yeah.
So
I think they went out of business actually.
Well,
Yeah.
I think this is horseshit actually, because
Yeah, I don't like equitable wages either.
me neither. Fuck
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
Especially the cooks. They shouldn't have to
Yeah,
live.
Good Lord.
My
Yeah,
point-
learn English.
That part. I think we are good people.
I'm kidding.
Of course, I'm not. So when I read read it on the menu, I was like, okay, like I wonder if this is the tip. I don't know what this is. So they don't tell you the percentage amount. They don't tell you. They just say, if you want this removed, you can have it removed. So we get the bill.
So you look like a dick if you.
Of that, no one's asking for it to be removed. And ask me how much it ended up being.
Okay. Well, what was the ticket? It was like.
My portion of the bill was $48.
Okay, $48. So what, like $5?
8. It was 22%.
22%.
It was like $8.50.
Fucking Christ.
And I said,
Fucking Christ.
thank you. I was like, wait a minute, is this the tip or what is this? So I walked to the host stand.
On top, in addition to.
Because when you get the printout, once your credit card goes through,
Yeah.
there's a line for the tip.
Yeah.
So then I go up to the desk and I was like, hey, I just want to get clear because
Yeah.
I don't want to stiff these people, but also 22%. I tip 25 roughly,
Yeah.
but if you're going to just strong
Yeah,
arm me into 22%.
Yeah, 10%. Around 20%. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's okay,
So I go and I was like, hey, is this a tip? The first hostess I talked to, she's like, well, that's for fair and equitable. So she won't answer my question. The head.
She's like one of those White House press briefings types.
And she wanted more money.
Yeah.
And so
I get it.
I mean, I do too.
Yeah.
Then
I
the
mean,
guy next to her was clearly her
Yeah,
supervisor.
I'm not paying for my rent with good looks. You know,
that
I get
part.
it, yeah.
And he puts his finger up to her and he goes, it is the tip. It's split amongst the whole house.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, great.
Okay.
That's all I needed
Done.
to know.
Cool.
Yeah. And so but on the tip line, when I got the bill, I wrote already included because I didn't want the server to think that I was
I draw a
just-
line through it or something.
Yeah. But I wanted her to know, like, hey, I know you're getting it just feels like shit.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It just makes me mad.
Well, I mean, another thing to do is whatever you affiliate yourself with, write something pro the other side.
Oh, good call.
Like
MAGA.
Ohio,
Yeah.
or I was gonna say like Ohio, like you're a Browns fan, just write
I
"Go
am actually.
Bengals."
Oh,
or
good
something like
idea.
that
I was
in
raised
the
on the Browns.
spot that
Yeah.
way. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So
It's a good idea.
You
Really double down.
deflect. You deflect.
Yeah, get mad about this thing.
Yeah, and then
That's a
and then
good-
you can just slip off into the night. You know?
Your next podcast should be just like life advice because that's a really solid.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Or
Have-
like go Michigan or whatever, go blue. No, you put that on the thing, so it looks
Yeah,
like
you said that in my presence. I just want to be
I know
clear.
your dog just bit me.
Yeah, good.
Anyway, no, like so you make it look like a
a bad
Michigan
person.
State
Yeah, fan
or whatever.
didn't
Yeah,
tip them.
Didn't tip them.
No,
you know
you're
what I
smart.
mean? Yeah.
I like
go
where your head's
Sparty
at.
or whatever. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm just no. I'm not saying go Sparty. But you write that in on the thing. Yeah.
I feel like you're flirting the line though. You're trying to get it out as many times as you can. He just smiled really big. Were you ever fired from any of these customer service jobs?
No, I don't think well, let's see.
You seem like you just make the exit at the right time, right before.
I don't think I've ever been. I've been fired from an accounting job.
Yeah, but that job sucked, and they did you a favor.
I've never been fired from a customer service job. I know. I got that. I got that riz.
Oh boy, oh doesn't he? Okay, Jack. Okay, last question in this section. Who is the worst customer? Now, the Karen that you already mentioned doesn't count. Who's the worst customer you can think of, or an archetype of who the worst customer would be?
Man, you don't want me to get ethnic.
I sure don't. I sure don't.
I'm kidding. Teenagers or teenage.
Oh, no one's ever said that. Why do you say that?
They're just loud and stupid, and
They are dumb.
Yeah. I remember. I still have one memory. It came
Just
back.
one.
Yeah, no, I have one. I smoke a lot of weed. Anyway, the worst thing I ever saw was like this grandparent was like with her grandson, and the kid wanted like cappuccino.
That's a stupid move. On her part.
And the kid's spazzing out already, and she's like, "Well, I have to get it to him, or he's gonna get." And it was like one of those truck stops, and so like they're gonna be up for like 6 hours. I was just, and I was that kind of helicoptering, kind of got the video game console in their hand at all times. Those little kids, they're horrible
Does
people.
make me sad.
They don't know how to make eye contact and that kind of thing. I don't like that.
Hasn't been socialized correctly. Okay.
Yeah. There's everybody has a place where they're assholes. I know. Okay, one thing I did notice. I noticed like Mexicans were always nice.
That has been my experience in a customer service setting.
Largely
the Latino population. Yeah.
I mean, because like where I was in Oklahoma, it was like mostly first generation. I remember there would be times where like they were having like a party, like a quinceanera or something, like a wedding thing, and they would buy like 100 cases of beer.
Aww.
Because they're
Quick Trip.
Yeah,
bless them.
And they would be like, they were like, oh man, no, we'll get it, we'll go. They brought their trucks and dollies and just pay cash, whatever.
Sense of community.
Yeah, no, and that kind of thing. They're like, hey, no, you always have it stocked. We're good. That was just like
that's lovely.
I remember that was always nice. I worked on 9/11. Everybody was weird that day. I don't know.
I wonder why, Matt.
Because they thought they were gonna not have gas ever again.
Why are we talking about Matt? Make it happy. Wait, we're not in the good section yet. Okay, so the worst customer is the entitled kid who's
kids,
like not making eye contact.
I'd like to. I think some kids need to be slapped.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Some humans, some adults,
some adults, but
the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I felt like most adults, at least at that place, were relatively cool.
That's great
because they've been. It wasn't their first time. Yeah,
they're
like,
not their first rodeo.
Whatever, it's busy. I get it. Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now we're gonna move on to the good stuff. We hope you saved room for dessert. Now you can be positive. All right, so 9/11. No.
Allegedly.
Inside job.
Yeah.
And Ron, what was your
the moon landing too, right?
I pissed off one of my boyfriends because he was very into all of that shit.
Yeah.
He studied aeronautical
He
engineering.
does his own research. Yeah.
Well, I would say to him that the moon landing was fake. He would get so mad.
Start sending you all these Reddit threads.
Well, because he was like, the moon landing was real, and so I just went so hard the other way. How am I single? Okay, what was your first job? I'm sorry, I've already asked this. What was your favorite job of all of them? Now, you can't include comedy because there's a version of comedy that is customer service.
Yeah.
But which was your favorite of all of them?
Oh, yeah, I like Quick. I love Quick.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, Quick Trip. Quick Trip was the best place. They took care of the customers, took care of the people. It was when you also the other thing when you worked there, you knew everybody was. You had like a list of shit you had to do, and it was just like, oh, okay, this is coming in. This is something we have to do on Wednesdays or whatever. Everybody was on board. 99% of the time, there was never any problem or whatever, anything like that, because it was just like, hey. Go in, bust ass, and let's just make money.
Yes, employee owned. I mean, if you told me that if I worked harder, this is why pooled houses don't work, but theoretically should, is because everyone's like, oh, we have this shared goal of making as much money as we can.
Yeah.
Let's get after it.
Yeah.
Pooled houses don't work like that, but Quick Trip, it sounds like does, where people are like, okay, I'll carry my weight.
Yeah.
Like this,
well, I mean, there was a level of accountability.
That is so important.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
And it was just like, hey, man. And also, you get reviewed. You get reviewed,
sure.
and you would also get to review your bosses.
That is so smart.
Yes.
That is so smart.
Yes.
I've worked for so many dirtbag, terrible people.
And your reviews were scheduled 6 months out, whatever.
Everything you're saying makes sense to me.
Yeah, you'd have one-on-one once a month with a manager.
They're taking it seriously.
They would bring a crew in to work your store so you could have meetings.
It is so smart to give this many fucks. Like, it just...
And that's why people
keep coming back and work there and stay there.
I know I sound like a freaking ad, don't I?
No, but I knew none of this.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me. And it's like, no wonder they're I would assume at least $1 million business, but they're private. So I guess that's not information.
They're doing
just fine.
They're doing well.
Yeah,
they're in a few new markets. They're
coming to a town near you.
Yeah, we just hit Charlotte. They just hit Charlotte.
If you're in North Carolina, you
you're
must
in the
be
Tampa
doing
St. Pete area.
It's hilarious. What is the nicest thing a customer has done for you whilst you were working? Because I would assume QT had regulars or any of these places.
I hooked up with chicks.
Yeah, you gave them your penis.
Yeah.
Or they gave you their vaginas.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, they didn't give it to me. I mean, it was.
You asked.
Yeah, no. I mean,
it was a permission-based experience.
Yeah. It was.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was.
You're like, may I please?
That's good. That was good.
No, but okay. Other than spread legs, what is the nicest thing a customer has done for you? Like, did they bring you cookies?
They give whenever I remember when you work on like Christmas and stuff like that, the people would like bring you food from their house, like turkey or something like that.
Can be really great.
Like the regulars would do that.
Wow.
Or like I remember there was some people that like made their own kind of things like florist. There was a Mexican place that would always they would hit us up to break change for us and stuff like that. They'd come in and lay out a spread for a place like that. Yeah. It was.
I love community. This is what makes me want to move to New York all the time. I love a sense of community. If you can carve that out.
Yeah.
It's such a difference maker, and it eases my mood.
They were like, oh, I remember they were like, oh yeah, I saw that guy look like I thought he was stealing gas too. I wrote down his plate for you, that kind of thing, or whatever.
That sense of community, man. That's it.
Or like there'd be somebody like grab cigarettes and run out because cigarettes used to be on the floor.
Oh, meaning like as an end cap or something?
No,
or they weren't behind the...
They weren't behind the register.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Somebody would like try to steal, like customers would grab a guy and be like, what are you doing? You know?
That's amazing.
Yeah, they would
That's
just...
that Oklahoma justice.
Yeah, that guy, yeah. And then they... Yeah, no.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
String them up. No,
kill them. Yeah. What is do you remember like the best monetary tip you ever got at any of these jobs?
I mean, it was never huge.
Okay.
Well... Yeah.
That's how you didn't bartend, so it's hard to
it wasn't that kind of mentality.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is the best time you've ever had at any of these jobs? Like the best day at work that you can remember?
Oh, sex was nice.
All right. We got to move past this. We're moving past it. What is
the Mexican food was good too.
All right, fine.
It was different people.
Sexy Mexican. Different feel. Stop, Matthew.
Sorry.
Quit it. What's the best lesson you've personally learned from working in customer service?
It was like what I said earlier. It's like most people are doing the best with what they got to work with.
I agree with that.
And you learn how to meter that out. You learn how, and most people are genuinely good. And if
you feel that way. Interesting. Okay.
I did there.
Sure.
With that environment. Not all the time. Yeah, you make me question.
No, I agree. Listen, I think that's a very thoughtful, not believable premise that you've just explained. So it's fine. Yes, most people are doing their best. Okay, fine.
I think a lot of people are. If someone's a jerk, they may not even know they're being a jerk.
Yeah, I know. I don't. All jokes aside, I do agree that I think that people are.
Some people just haven't got popped on the head or been held account to. It was just like, hey, Tom, people think that shit's annoying. You know,
sure. They don't have good friends that are willing to have hard conversations.
Yeah, you gotta have that. You do
have to have that. I totally agree with that.
You got to get called on your stuff because not every. I mean, it's uncomfortable whenever you receive it.
Yeah,
you know, I felt like it was an equitable. I didn't feel like it was like a master servant relationship, or like the customer is always right. I never felt like that
beneath the people.
Yeah, I never felt beneath. I felt equitable, and I didn't feel it was like an us versus them thing.
Which is such an interesting model that so many businesses perpetrate. I don't understand it and perpetuate
weird culty.
Yeah.
I felt that way when I worked for at Walmart.
I bet you did.
Yeah, very top heavy.
Yeah, and they make a point of making you feel that way.
Yeah,
is that you feel that way when you go in as a customer? I always feel like I have to beg a little bit.
It's like if you design the store like this, it was like who was coming up with this idea?
Yeah,
it was a cult.
Well, and it's very sterile and cold in there. Like, I think that the reason that like Target isn't all that different. I mean, the prices are more, but like Target feels more contained, more, I don't know. There's something about walking into
Target. There's too many goddamn Targets now.
All right, here we go. We're not getting onto this.
Sorry.
What's one piece of advice you would give to customers who interact with customer service workers? Everybody's doing their best.
I ask yourself what would make you happy.
Ooh, Matt. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
ask yourself what would make you happy.
Yeah. And like, oh, am I being unreasonable? Oh.
No one has ever said that.
Yeah.
That is so good. Ask yourself what would make you happy.
Yeah.
That's good. Again, your podcast needs to be called Life Advice with Matt Lewis. Like, that is such a good, yes.
Thanks.
Ask yourself because you're right, because that manages so many things that are out of disproportionately balanced in customer service experiences. Like, would you, if you were the one?
Oh, okay.
Working,
I want them to go heat it up, or I want them to top off my drinks,
then
or
provide them with that solution.
Yeah.
Don't make them guess.
Yeah, exactly.
The number of times I've had to guess.
Yeah, playing fucking Simon 21 questions for somebody and that kind of thing.
And they just want to hold you hostage.
Yeah,
it's such a good.
Oh yeah, they're hurt people.
Hurt people.
Yeah.
Ask yourself what would make you happy.
Yeah,
Matt.
Like, hey, this meal should be comped. Say that if that's how you feel.
Say that.
Or
Speak
hey,
directly.
you brought me the raw. I asked for a chicken and you brought me pork.
Great. Say
sub it out.
Yeah.
And we're good.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah. What would make you happy?
What would make you happy?
Yeah.
Feels like a great place to end, Matt.
Huh.
Where can people see you? When does your album with Ariana drop? How can people get eyes on you? Like how do people get to know you? Because you're lovely. How do people? Come on, let my fans love you.
It's all social platforms are the fun Matt Lewis because there's like a million Matt Lewises.
And I know there are. And is it 2 T's?
2 T's.
And is it LOUIS?
No, I'm not.
No, of course not.
I'm not from the.
Stop it. Spell it correctly.
Dirty French
Stop
person.
it. Yeah, they are terrible.
Yeah,
they are the worst.
Yeah.
Spell Lewis for us.
Talk about bad service. Here we go. The fun Matt Lewis, MATTLEWIS.
There you are.
I'm on social stuff. The podcast. I don't know.
Say the name of your podcast again.
Obnoxious Valid Points.
Obnoxious Valid Points.
Yeah, I was because like I want to just call it obnoxious, and my co-host. And I'll kind of rotate. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, he's like, "But I make valid points." I go, "Okay, we'll just call it obnoxious valid points." He was like, "That works."
It's a really, really clever title.
Yeah,
like I think for the algorithm and stuff, what people would look up, like that's a very it's clever.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we're gonna drop.
I don't have a website.
Oh well.
Also, if there's any comedians or anything list, I don't think you're a good comedian unless you've had 3 or 4 domains that you let slip.
That is so rude, Matt.
I don't trust you. I don't trust you're a real comedian unless you have 3 or 4 expired domains.
Listen, so many people have told me like a website is just a waste now. I keep one as a placeholder, but
it's not bad
because everyone's
it's
like,
not,
well, it's all they care about your social numbers, and if it's just a feeder
that's
to that,
incorrect. It's. I think a domain is a good thing. I just don't have one because mine's expired.
He's like, I'm not getting my Wix page back up, folks. I'm not doing it. GeoCities. Well, folks.
Bringing it back.
Matt, shut up. I have to do this outro. We're going to drop your checks now. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to help us out here at Service from Hell, please subscribe, rate, and review the show wherever you listen. It really does help the algorithm, and dang it, it's going to help more people that need to be schooled in the art of being kind and is catharsis for those of us still working in the industry. If you want to get in touch with us here at Service from Hell directly, send us your receipts to servicefromhellpodcast@gmail.com. We always love hearing from you. We do read the emails. We know we owe you a listener letter episode. Thank you for everybody that has emailed. Remember, if you can't afford a tip, you can't afford to go out. Or you also can't afford to go out if you can't pay the Colorado Hospitality Program fees. So don't be garbage and be good to people. It's easier that way.
Yeah.
Matt.
And share it with your friends. Just send them a link or whatever, Just send them a link. It's iPhone's easy.
We're dying on the vine out here. Do all the things Matt just said.
Yeah, just send a link to them.
Send
And they'll
a
be like, hey, you work at you have a friend that works hospitality? Hey, this is pretty funny. Check it out.
This is all right. This is a labor of intensive love for free. Just give it your
listen
ears.
to it on your drive-in or your workout or whatever. Yeah.
It's so, and look, we have lovely guests like Matt, who's very funny, this episode aside, and he's doing his best. Go find him on all the things, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, Matt. Thank you so much
sweet.
for being here. You are a delight. I'm so grateful for you, and it's so much fun for me to play with someone who actually is funny. This show is so hard when I get I'm on some publicist's list. Now they're going to hear this and fucking cut me off. And I'll tell you, some of the people they send me.
I'm old. I only book homies. I've learned that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm learning that the hard way. I am. Yeah. As soon as you Matt was so
Are
sweet.
we still recording? Oh,
yes.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
Matt DM'd me quickly about the show, and I was like, Matt, did you ever work in customer service? He's like, actually, I worked at Quick Trip, and then he did like a pitch for what Quick Trip was, and I was like, I know what Quick Trip is. I was like, get on your shoes and get over to my place right now. And he was like, I'm available this weekend. I was like, thank God, because this is when I love doing podcasting.
Yeah.
It's so hard when it's just a commercial for someone who clearly doesn't want to be there. Like this.
It's a
All right.
hostage situation.
It is. And it sounds like that. It's terrible. All right.
Reading a letter.
It's truly. And they're holding up signs like, please help me. All right, folks. Thank you for listening to this chaos.
Right.
Find Matt on everything.
You follow Kate and stuff too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good. What a convincing pitch this was.
Follow Kate Gaffney. Here we go. For Christ. Here we go. What's wrong with you?
I'm putting that, just that audio clip I'm putting out on everything. All right, folks. Thank you so much for listening. Good night.